What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today on episode 64 of the podcast, we are talking about the 1993 video game adaptation of the Super Mario Brothers. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming, down here today. And joining us to talk about this delightful film is the man, the myth, the legend, the man behind all the wonderful music of this podcast, Darkraizard.
Yay!
Hey, that's basic.
Back on the show once again, but this time to talk about a movie. This is very exciting. Dark, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
One of the worst movies ever, you got to have one of the worst Twitch streamers ever. So this is perfect.
Wrong.
That is wrong. I was like, how do I introduce this guy? There's just so many titles. It would have gone on for minutes upon minutes. And I was like, I got to trim it down just a little bit. I mean, you're the man who rocks the hottest mullet on Twitch. You're surpassing probably like the best. You're probably one of the best Twitch streamers on the internet. I mean, what else? What could you say about this guy?
But what I could say is that all the other good Twitch streamers moved to YouTube.
They saw you coming, and they was like,
"We gotta go.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here."
Hey, you're doing something because you keep coming up on my TikTok For You page, and I see lots of positive comments.
Oh, well, thank you. That's nice. The good thing to know is TikTok's working when I have no idea what I'm doing on the platform.
You must be doing something right.
I put a couple TikToks out in the last like 2 weeks for the channel, and I was like, I feel no one is watching our TikTok. Like no one goes to the Dissect That Film TikTok. So I just posted it on both my accounts. And then I just tell people to go to the other account, like watch it here, but also watch it over there because that's where I want you to watch it, but no one watches it over there. But I also put it as a YouTube short. So at least maybe somebody will see it. I don't know. Whatever. It's there. So Super Mario Brothers from 1993. What a year.
Yeah.
Right?
I can think of one very significant dinosaur themed movie that came out the same year. That's way fucking better than this.
2 weeks later, right?
Yeah. In June. Yeah, this came out.
Yeah, we're talking May 28th, 1993. You could have seen Cliffhanger, Made in America, Dave, Hot Shots, Menace to Society.
Dark's taking my job here. What am I doing here? He's out here like telling the dates. He's got all the movies down. This man did his research. Yeah. This man did his research. Way more research than I ever do for this show.
Yeah, this wasn't the only movie that came out with a few good men in it.
Yeah. But it's funny because if you really look at the behind the scenes of this movie, it's a fucking roller coaster. So Nintendo had nothing to do with this movie. They literally sold the rights to for somebody to make a live action movie or a movie in general, and they didn't care who they sold it to.
I guess thing they did for it,
yeah. So they literally were like, I guess there was, I think the Hollywood Pictures is who distributed this, or Buena Vista, as it later became. And when they came forward, was like, hey, we want to do this movie. They were like all the people went up to the president of Nintendo, was like, are we sure we want to go to this like smaller studio? Would we want to like somebody big, like, Touchstone or Warner Brothers or something? Like, nah, we don't want to touch this. We don't care. We trust that Mario as a franchise will hold up and it'll be okay. Boy, were they wrong. Yeah. This movie budgeted between $42 and $48 million and only grossed $38.9 million at the box office. But I mean, yeah, the movie isn't great. I'm not going to say it's bad because, to be honest, I watched this movie last night and I was like, I didn't hate watching this again. And I've seen this a lot throughout my youth because it's Mario. Even you just put Super Mario Bros. I mean, I'm just that suckers. Like, put the name on it. I'm probably gonna go see it. But I watched through this and I was like, you know what? If you just ignore certain things and get, and just kind of just expand your disbelief and just like, who cares? Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk throughout the production of this movie. So,
and the whole 90s.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And to be honest, they looked like they were having fun, even though I've read otherwise for behind the scenes. The directors were no-namers. We had Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel, who were partners. They did a lot of stuff together. They did mostly music videos and commercials. I think they only had a couple films under their belt. But I guess it was a very rocky production, a lot of just disagreements. Bob Hoskins being a big-time actor back then, he expected more, didn't really get it. He later would go out and say this was the worst movie he ever made. But later, people would turn around and love this movie. This is considered a cult classic. To be honest, when we get to the end of the show and we read what people tweeted, like we asked people to tweet at us their thoughts on this movie, and there's a lot of positive feedback on this movie.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys normally do this, but that's what I wanted to say. It was like my first, what I think about it. Or when do we do that?
We're getting to
end.
that. We're getting to that. So this, of course, is based on the video game.
It's supposed to be.
It's loosely based. It's like when you watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's like when you watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they go, "It's based on true events," and you're like, "Oh, okay." But it's nothing like that.
In the same, timeline. No.
Exactly. So according to research, I saw that they actually based this more on Super Mario World because that was actually the newest game at the time.
Dinosaur Land or whatever it's called.
And to be honest, I didn't know that the other world was called Dino Hatton. I didn't know that.
Sure.
Yeah. Because
I just thought it was Dinosaur World.
Yeah.
Dinosaur
I thought it
Island?
was the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yoshi's Island?
Mushroom Kingdom is 1 and 3. I don't know what's going on with 2. Like you would figure this was the film adaptation of 2 because that
2 was entirely a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2's a weird game to talk about. The fact that they call him King Koopa, which I know was it's his alternate name in the games because he is the king of the Koopas, but he's Bowser. But they don't ever say that. Like he's just King Koopa. And just the designs of these creatures, like the Goombas. I mean, you think of the Goombas as these little gnome dudes that you squish, and in this movie, you're like, what the fuck?
They were literally the polar opposite of a Goomba. Yeah. Instead of being short, they're tall, and they got tiny heads.
Yep.
Instead of being all head and having a tiny body.
Yeah. They literally probably looked at that, and that's probably their idea of it. They were like, you know what? This would be funny, right?
Yeah, when every other thing you look at, instead of making a good movie, they made a bad movie. So they're like, let's just do the polar opposite on everything else too. So
yeah, why is Daisy here?
When did she show up in this franchise?
Super Mario Land on the Game Boy.
Which came out when?
I don't know.
Like after this, or was it before?
Oh no, it was like 89, 90, 91?
It was before.
It was before,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's from Sarasa Land.
Yeah.
Which is an entirely different land. No affiliation to.
Well, I think they were just trying to shoehorn as many. I don't know why you wouldn't use Peach, but everything else is just kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Considering Peach is blonde and Daisy's brunette.
Yeah, I don't think. See, I think
the ball. I'm dropping it all the time.
It's probably supposed to be Peach. I just don't think the directors or the writers really did any research into what Super Mario really was.
I don't know, man.
That's the thing. That's the thing is like when Nintendo wanted it to kind of be in their, like they wanted the filmmakers to create their own world. They didn't want to just copy the game. They didn't want to make like, hey, take Super Mario World and just make it a movie. They didn't want that. They wanted them to take, that's why they weren't involved in it.
Yeah.
But then after it's done, they're like, well, so Shigeru Miyamoto, he was one of those guys who was like, hey, I appreciate what you tried to do, but you tried too hard.
Oh man. No, they did. They tried too hard in the worst kind of way.
Yeah. I think the thing that the reason that I actually enjoy watching this movie, even after this latest viewing, is just the cast. I mean, Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, the cast of this movie.
Oh no, the cast is great, but that's why I come back to it. Like, it's almost like one of his early movies.
Yeah.
And then I will forever. There's two parts of this movie that just they get me every time. It's like, this is why I come back. The opening scene in the apartment. He's got the plungers on a samurai sword rack. Okay, why dirty shitty plungers instead of like wrenches or something? I don't know. And then the CGI when he first enters into the Koopa Kingdom.
Oh,
and
like
that
into the
scream.
wall.
Yeah, and that scream that Bob Hoskins gives out.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like when he's like flipping through that.
Am I watching a Doctor Strange movie now? What's going on here?
This was the multiverse of madness before that actually was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Dennis Hopper, man, he looked like he was having a blast. And I completely forgot Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter was in this freaking movie.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, that's Aunt Petunia. Fiona Shaw, by the way, that's the actress's name. I think the worst for me was the Samantha Mathis who played Daisy. I wasn't a fan of her performance. I know this was all very campy and all the performances are very campy. Hers was just a little bit too far, where I was like,
every line delivered from her in that movie looks like somebody's holding a cue card off in the distance for her to read it. There's a reason she was really never in any other movies after this.
I saw her in a show probably like 5 years ago, and she was like in a season of that, and she was pretty good. I was like, but I hadn't seen her since this movie, and I was like, oh, hey, I remember you.
Looks familiar.
He's in American Psycho.
Oh yeah, probably. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Okay,
that'll be a great movie.
Sorry,
to review. Just not the sequel. So this became a cult classic. In 2012, they actually made a webcomic sequel to this movie.
Who?
It doesn't. It just. Was produced in collaboration with Bennett. I don't know who that is. And it was the only live action film based on a Nintendo game property until Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which came out in 2019. So 26 years? Am I doing the math right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a long time. But we're getting another Mario movie next year. Where Chris Pratt. Yeah, where Chris Pratt's gonna be stepping into the overalls as Mario.
Yeah.
And I
animated
think
as it should be.
Yeah, it's being done by Illumination, who does the Despicable Me movies.
Yeah,
that should be really good. Should
be good. All right, this is where we go around and we talk about what we thought of this. We'll just call it classic. You know, we're gonna start with our guest, Mr. Darkraizard. What are your thoughts on this movie?
I love it. It's one of my. So I have a favorite good movie. My least favorite movie of all time, and then my favorite bad movie. This is my favorite bad movie. For the reason being that I loved that they tried to do, like you said, like they tried to do something different. It wasn't just a cookie cutter safe approach. Here's a Mario movie. Because, you know, if that came out, it would have been long forgotten about. We wouldn't be talking about it 30 years later.
Right.
And I love it for that. And just, I like to think that some of the stuff they went in and did for the movie, they were like, hey, this is so bad, it's great, we got to do it. I'd like to think that. I know that's probably not the case, but. And again, he's got toilet plungers on a samurai sword rack.
You're not wrong. All right. We'll let's go over to DNA Gaming. What do you guys think of this movie? Let's start with Angela, since it's her first go round with this.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years later since the release.
Congratulations.
She's seeing it for the first time. Trust me, she probably would have never saw this movie unless she was on this show.
Probably not.
Probably not, because he probably wouldn't have let me watch it. It was a movie.
There it is.
That's about all I can say.
TM. Trademark that shit now.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it. There was some weird things. The whole BDSM prison.
Bertha.
I did like Big Bertha. I did like her. And the fact that Frank Welker
Yeah.
Jesus.
Frank
Yeah.
Welker. I looked
He's
it up.
back,
I was like,
baby.
he had to be doing voices in this.
Every time we have a guest on, we got to talk about a movie where Frank Welker does the voice of something.
Absolutely.
Anaconda. You're the voice of the anacondas. This movie I think he's Yoshi and
the Goombas.
And the Goombas.
All of them, yeah.
Dark, do you know who Frank Welker is?
No.
So he was the
Oh
voice
my
of like
gosh.
Fred from
Everything.
Scooby-Doo, and he's done. Yeah, he's the voice of Megatron in the original Transformers. Yeah, he's done voice work for probably since the early 70s. Like
I think
this is into the 60s is when he started.
Because he was on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, because
that
it
started in the
60s.
late 60s. Yeah, so this man's just done so many voices. He did the voice of the Anaconda in Anaconda. Like
he has 891 credits.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's done everything.
That's more people that went opening weekend to see Mario.
Probably.
Yeah, he has more credits than people saw this movie.
69,
Yep,
1969. Because Scooby-Doo, Where Are You started in 1969 as well. Not his first role.
Bob Hoskins was like, I had a hit with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Fucking amazing movie. Made a crap ton of money. Great film. Then he went on, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go work with Steven Spielberg now and do Hook. This can't fail. And it did. I love Hook, but it didn't do very well at the box office. So then he gets the script for Super Mario Brothers. And his son's like, Dad, you have to. Mario's awesome. He's like, all right, son, I'll do it. Yeah, that was literally why he took it, is because his son was like, Mario's great. Do it, Dad.
Yeah, I heard he got the script and he had no idea what Super Mario was. He didn't know of the video games. And I want to know how much of the budget they spent on him.
Most of it. Him and Dennis Hopper. They had Dennis Hopper in this movie.
Yeah.
A year out from Speed, which is insane.
You have any more?
No.
Oh, Angela, keep going. Sorry. I didn't
I'm
mean to
done.
interrupt you. All right, Dan. Lay it on
I'm going
us.
to preface this with two important things first. First off, we're not wearing glasses. Ironically, it was a really rough weekend and we're all baked as fuck right now. Secondly, I apologize for anybody that has nostalgia for this movie, but I fucking hate this movie. Like, this was dreadful for me. Like, no offense, I understand about loving bad movies because I have bad movies that I love, and I just could not get behind this. Like, I've watched this since I was young. Like, I watched this not long after it came out. Like, a lot of kids did this and that shitty ass Double Dragon movie that had the T-1000 in it.
Robert Patrick?
Yeah, he's the villain of the Double Dragon movie. There you go.
I've never seen it, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had not seen this in forever. And I know I keep fiddling with stuff. I can't help it. Anyway,
don't know what to do with my hands.
I just have to do.
Stop touching my tools.
I know I'm messing with her stuff here. But anyway, I just couldn't get behind it, dude. But I agree. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were the best parts, and then of course, Dennis Hopper is. Those three are like the best part of the movie. Well, actor wise, but the actual best part of the movie is the snippets from The Lost World 1925 that were used at the very beginning of the movie. The whole stop motion dinosaurs and shit.
Oh, for the meteorite.
In the opening credit, yeah, all that stuff. That's awesome because it's a fantastic movie. It's one of Willis O'Brien's earliest works. Great stuff. Outside of that, I didn't give a fuck about the rest of it. We're sitting here watching it. I'm bored out of my mind. I'm just thinking of excuses. I gotta go roll the windows up in my car. I'm just thinking of shit. Like, I'm just listening into the background. I'm just thinking of shit to not watch this movie. And I just don't care. Like, and I totally respect what Dark's saying. Like they did their own thing, and I can respect people for doing their own thing. And I think to me that would matter more if there were 20 Mario movies, but there's not. And there's a Mario movie that was released in the United States. Yeah. I would give it more leniency for like Friday the 13th Part 5. A lot of people hate that movie because it's not Jason. Or Halloween Part 3. They don't like it because it's not Michael Myers. I like those because there's a billion other ones and it's a different one of those movies. But for me, like, there's no other Mario movies. I mean, of course they did a few animes and
this
OVAs
is why
in
there's
Japan.
no other Mario movies.
Exactly. But I see your point. I respect them for doing their own thing, but it doesn't come off to me like I've got this really good idea and I'm going to do something that feels genuine. It just feels like I want money from this property. You motherfuckers make a shitty ass movie and make us money off of it. That's what it came across to me. And from my point of view, I'm a good Godzilla fan, big Godzilla fan. I was pissed when the 1998 Godzilla came out. But that movie with Matthew Broderick is more like a Godzilla movie than this movie is like a Super Mario. It's like a Super Mario property. It's like literally Mario's name, the characters, throw them in this random situation with like BDSM and car crashes and there's compies in the street and
sparks everywhere,
and mushroom gang. The best thing, the most canon thing of it was the actual fucking bomb. I was like, oh, that actually looks like it's from Mario.
Because they ruined that by putting Reeboks on it.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
and the bullet build. You missed the bullet build that went into the grenade launcher.
Probably because we had, like I said, we had like 20 minutes of the movie left by the time we had to stop.
The best part of this whole movie to me that really that nobody probably even notices is that they saved money on props by just spray painting super scopes from the Super Nintendo black.
Yeah, they were. Yep, I saw those
mobile guns, which by the way, those mobile de-evolution guns just come out of nowhere because it allows the film to progress. Wasn't it this giant thing? And then
it was a machine that they just stick their head in and now they got guns. Wait a second.
The plot has to evolve.
Exactly. Like shit just happens. You're like, why is this happening? Like, why does this need to be here?
Really think it's because they didn't even know what I don't think the people who directed it and wrote the movie even really knew. I think they were trying to get a cash cow and they're like, let's just write some weird story.
So I feel like this was like, this was a pre-existing idea. Like somebody had. They're like, can we slap Mario on this? Like, you got that idea you tried to pitch to us. Just make it kind of like Mario and we'll give you funding for it. But put these bigger actors in it. I don't know. I just right now, like, it's in the back of my mind. Did anybody ever watch the Disney Channel show or that one movie, Adventures in Dinosaur City? Does anybody remember that? That's what I'm thinking of right now for some reason. And if comment anywhere if you've didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's all I have to say. I don't like this movie. I'll never watch it again. Kudos to the people that do, but it's not for me.
Watching this last night, it's one of those things where if you just ignore the fact that it's called Super Mario Brothers, this is actually a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like, just if they called this by any other name, I feel like people would have loved it more when it came out. Like, oh, this is an interesting idea. But instead, they threw Super Mario Brothers on it, and people are like, "Well, this isn't Super Mario Brothers." Like that is literally. I mean, I love watching these actors. They're just hamming it up. It's such a freaking clown show here. Like, Dennis Hopper is just like, he's so into it, but also there's some scenes where he looks like he just wants to take a nap. Bob Hoskins is the same way, where there's some scenes where he's just like, why the fuck am I here? But then there's some scenes where he looks so happy. I'm like, man, either this man was happy or he was so good at just looking so ecstatic and happy to be where he is. That too. Yeah. Him and John Leguizamo literally would get drunk before every shoot.
It's like Dennis Hopper in the mud. He just looks like, is he awake?
Oh my God.
Dude, remember though, this is the logic I'm going to apply to this situation. And I understand what you're saying, like the disconnect, right? But I'm going to apply this to the situation. Remember when they make superhero movies that were not like the comics they're based on? Remember that one time they made a Wolverine movie with Deadpool in it who's supposed to talk all the time and they took away his ability to talk?
Yeah.
Remember when they did that?
Yeah, and then Deadpool killed him in Deadpool 2, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, but what if they just made a movie about Deadpool, but that's all Deadpool was?
Just didn't talk. He was like a mute. He was the merc who was mute.
Yeah. That's the stuff that I apply to. It, like, that makes me think of, I want to make a Superman movie, but I want to take all of his powers away and he can't fly.
Or when you watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and you just want to gouge your eyes out. Oh, wait, that's just a completely different story.
Maybe any Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, that too. Except for Con Air.
Well, again,
Face off.
Face off.
Face.
Go
ahead.
Best movie ever. No, no, I know. Yeah, and I think it's they just didn't know. And to be fair, I mean, I don't think Super Mario was really on a lot of adults' radars at that time. So they probably just, didn't do their research.
Well, I don't know if Dark if you have kids.
No, I don't.
But the Parker can, or anybody else that's can relate. You know, your kid's like, "Hey, I'm watching this. Like, what the fuck is this?" And it's like stupidly popular, but you have no idea where it came from. That's the same thing I think our parents went through.
Most
Well, that
kids'
would
TV
be-
shows.
What is this?
What is
shit?
this?
And that would be like if I was right now, somebody was like, "Hey, you want to make a movie about Paw Patrol? Yeah, let's try it." Even though I don't know what it is.
Oh.
That's weird.
Do
they catch
Dark
dogs?
makes
Is it dog
the most
catchers?
badass Paw Patrol movie because it has nothing to do with Paw Patrol.
Please. You have to
None
do
of
better
the
than what they
characters are the
did.
same. It's just
It has to be all this like
it's not even
over
about
like
dogs.
this like vague BDSM theme throughout the whole thing, like this movie.
Yeah. What is happening? This isn't even about dogs, but it's so awesome. Oh,
That would be great. Paw
Lord.
Patrol movie, but there's no dogs in it at all.
Everything has to be metal.
Everything.
Everything.
So this was an early another film from 1993 that really started using visual effects. And they, to be honest, I'm not going to judge it too hard since it came out in 1993 when it was still new. You know, I think the only thing we had gotten before it was Terminator 2. And you kind of get a scene where it looks like the T-1000 melting. You're like, oh, actually, that looks pretty good because it looks like they just took that and pasted it here.
There you go.
And changed the color. But no, some of the visuals actually looked pretty good. I watched it on this really grainy ass DVD that I own because it's the only thing
I don't know what the hell we watched it on.
It's like somebody recorded it off HBO. Exactly.
I mean, with the clips that they put in it, I'm like, I can't even hear what they're saying.
Yeah, when they added the clips because they weren't production ready, like the audio's fucked, dude.
And it was just it was so blurry. Like, damn.
No, but I agree. They worked with what they had, and some of the animatronics weren't bad, like for the Goomba heads and stuff.
Oh, they look good. Yeah,
they look good.
Well, we got
and Yoshi
looked good.
Comments as I made before we got to the part where you asked me if I'd watched this before. Like, how did you not get that I had?
She's like saying stuff. I was like, have you not seen this? Like,
we got to the first part where you see the Goomba. I'm like, why is Killer Croc in this movie?
That's good.
He's like, have you not seen this? I was like, no, I've never seen this.
Got your scent, Batman.
There was a space in time in the 90s where we didn't even have a television, so like I didn't watch shit.
Well, at least you didn't miss this, so sorry. I just kidding. Go ahead.
So the guy who wrote this movie, Ed Solomon, he was one of the three writers. He would go on to do Men in Black.
That's a good movie.
Great movie.
Charlie's Angels in 2000, which you say what you want about it. It's not a terrible movie. We actually talked about another movie directed by the director of that, McGee. He wrote Now You See Me. He did. He actually wrote
Now
Bill.
You See Me is actually a really good movie.
I've heard that's good.
He wrote the sequel too, which wasn't as good. But he did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey and Face the Music. So he wrote all three Bill and Ted movies.
Oh, at least he's consistent.
So was he not like the focal writer? Because there were three writers on this movie, and I feel he wasn't the focal point of writing this movie because this seemed like he was like the other two just wrote this script and gave it to him, and he's just like
he came up with the name.
yeah.
They just had a copy of Super Mario World sitting on the table. He's like, you know what we should call it, guys? And he just points at it.
He moves the sheet aside and the games are sitting there. Oh, we'll call it Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's like, yeah, I got to get my kid's birthday present out to him. And he just moves over. He's like, Mario Brothers. Fuck. That's it.
Oh, man. The music, though, done by Alan Silvestri, who is an iconic composer. Back to the Future is one of his big ones.
In Back to the Future.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Predator.
You're gonna say Casper.
Casper. Fucking Casper's great. Shut your mouth.
It is a good movie. That's what my mind was.
Lilo and Stitch. The Mummy Returns, which is a great sequel. Can't wait to talk about those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he also created the iconic Avengers theme.
Oh, hey.
So, I mean, this man is great. And to be honest, this music sounded like it was the same music they used in the Flintstones movie the year after. It was the same music. Yeah. I was listening. I was like, is that the music that the Flintstones used?
Which, by the way, that great movie.
So good.
I watched it in theaters. I'm not seeing it forever.
Yeah,
The
just a
sequel,
good movie.
not good.
No.
But the
Viva
one with
Rock
John Goodman
Vegas
and
or whatever?
Rick Moranis, yeah,
They were
that's a
the
great
perfect
movie.
Fred and Barney. They really
Oh,
were.
yeah,
It was
they were.
great.
Yeah.
Well, who got clearance or the idea or allowed them to use Everybody Walk the Dinosaur? I just want to know who the fuck like
Oh my!
greenlit
When I
that.
heard that
How
pop
would you
on, I was
be
like,
like
I
that?
forgot this movie.
That
That song was
song.
in this movie.
I got the eye roll when I started singing it.
This movie is
And
such a clown show.
Apparently that scene when they go into that club was way like they filmed many versions that were way more sexual.
I know.
It's pretty sexual in this version.
Well, I mean, I guess there were worse. There was like supposed to be strippers and stuff in the scenes and stuff, and they
Yeah.
had to pull it all out.
Somebody had to pull out, but I don't even know what the fuck that means.
There was a lot of cheeks, man. I saw some cheeks. I was like, damn, it's a PG.
The
And
one girl with the silver, I don't know if she was supposed to be a dinosaur or whatever with the dinosaur tail. She about flashed everything in front.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was kept leaning over to my wife and I was like, remember, this is a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Well, like the camera was here and she was right here, and they were focusing right behind her. And I was like,
forgiving that, I mean, overlooking that fact, I was looking at this, was like, this was a kid's movie, right? Like, I watched
Rated
this.
PG.
I remember.
Well, don't they flash over there? There's like a part where they flash over like a marquee, and it's like, I was a teenage something XXX.
Yeah, I was a teenage mammal. XXX. I was like,
oh, okay. I mean, Mario literally motorboats Big Bertha when he's getting the meteor out of her.
Yes, when he's
off the
trying to get the
necklace.
meteorite.
Yeah. You're like, all right, let's.
I was like,
let's
where is
go,
this
Mario?
going?
wait, I think they're trying to catch.
Yes.
Woohoo! Anyway.
Listen, I haven't even been drinking today, so I don't know why I'm so wired.
No, I wonder if they tried to channel like that grittiness of like the original TMNT movie.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Maybe that's what the angle they were trying to go for.
Definitely has the same feel.
Yeah, like they were trying to capture what made that movie fun and shoehorn Mario into it.
Yeah.
Who do you think's idea was to call them Mario and Luigi Mario? Like their fucking last name is Mario.
Somebody's like, dude, this skit is gonna be fucking great. Like, all right, dude, just leave it in the script.
See, like people now are like, oh, well, in Japanese, that's what you use.
Your last name first. It's the other way around.
First. So it's like, I'm like, this movie came out way before that theory had started. Like,
well, the thing is like, you think about it, they're called the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So you would think, I mean, like, so that would be their last name, right? Like they're the Mario Brothers, but the fact that it's like, well, the main character's name is Mario, and you're like, what?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was. I think it's a fun little addition they put in there to kind of make fun of it. It's like, well, I mean, it is called the Mario Brothers, so.
And then Luigi's like, there's 3 of them: Mario, and Luigi Mario. I'm like, where's the third one?
I guess he's just talking about 3 uses of the term Mario. I guess. Like, John, just chill out. Save that energy for when you're Violator and Spawn. Hey, just calm the fuck down.
Like,
I do like John Wick was up. I don't want to shit on the guy. I do like it.
It's like, was that actually a line, or did he just make that up?
Well, they were drunk, so.
John Leguizamo's performance in this movie is not his best.
He was having fun with it, though.
But he was having a blast. I mean, like we were talking about before, these dudes were knocking some back, having a good time, trying to make it through. It was like a 3-month shoot. And Bob Hoskins just wanted to get the fuck out of there as fast as he possibly could.
Oh, man.
After he died, though, I guess his son came out and was like, yeah, I love this movie. And he would always talk to his dad about how he thought like he overreacted about it. Like, it's not as bad as you think it is. Like, it's actually, people love this movie. People love you in this movie. Because he went around and was just like, that was the worst acting experience of my life. Like, he trashed this movie any opportunity he could get. I do too.
Mm-hmm.
He was like him and Hoskins or Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper are the only ones that you're like, well, these guys are like real actors.
Yeah.
I mean,
like they've been around. They've been around.
They're seasoned veterans. They're making the best of. They're probably helping rewrite the script as they're filming the movie. because they're like, this is really terrible.
Yeah, this is how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo would do this, and then he was like, I'm gonna do a movie called The Pest, and people were gonna be like, no, the movie's terrible. Actually, I don't know if that movie came out before this, but that movie is awful.
I thought I had something. Never mind. It left. It
just flew out.
Sorry. Lost it.
Ironically, how the writing session for this movie went.
Probably.
They're like, wait, I had this whole thing and then I got blackout drunk. I forgot. So let's just scribble some shit together.
Well, it's like they all wrote their own thing. Oh, we're just gonna piece this together.
Do you think Bob Hoskins actually watched this movie?
No.
Probably
Guarantee
not.
he did not see this movie at all.
So the reason I ask is in my line of interest, there was an actor who played in a Godzilla movie. He was an English actor in 1966, I think. 66, 67. Russ Tamblyn. He was in a War of the Gargantuas, which is a fantastic movie. And he just did it. He just did it. He's like, I got paid to go to Japan, act in this movie, went home. He never watched the movie until like 2005. It was like 2 years before his death. And he's like, it wasn't that bad. Because he was just a gig for him. And I guess I just assume, I don't know how many actors just do movies and just don't watch them afterwards.
Oh, it's just like Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp will make a movie, and then every time he'd be on a talk show, they'd be like, all right, so we're going to show you a clip. Hey, you know what's in this clip? And he'd be like, no, I don't watch the movies. He doesn't watch any of his movies.
It's fair.
I can't stand hearing myself talk, so.
I mean, I have to do it every week, so.
Thanks.
Not you. I'm talking about me. I mean, I do have to listen to you every week, but it's not. No, it's more. I have to listen to myself. Are you guys ready to talk about the plot of this movie, or what? I guess they thought was a plot.
I'm assuming this isn't going to take very long at this rate, then.
Let's see. I don't know how many pages of notes I have. Way more than I thought.
Not one for the plot, though.
I do love the DVD menu. Has the Mario theme playing. I mean, you guys didn't hear it, but on this DVD, the menu, there's no special features on it. It's just play the movie, add subtitles, and scene selection. And I'm like, fuck you.
That's more than the Anaconda DVD has that I got. It's just play. That's it.
No.
But it's got the Super Mario theme, which I was like, okay,
that's nice.
I can get behind that.
Which is, it's cool. It plays at the beginning. You at least get that.
Yeah, you get it in the beginning of the movie.
You still get a couple sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like
randomly.
So the movie opens up to the theme, and we get a nice narration. You know who the person who does the narration?
We do.
Yep. Who does the voice of Homer Simpson and many other characters in The Simpsons.
Yep.
He did the genie.
Yes, in the second movie.
Second movie in the series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and he talks about, and he's got like the most ridiculous New York accent when he's doing this narration. He's talking about how the old days with the dinos, and the dinosaurs got hit by a meteor. And
fuck them dinosaurs.
And did they talk about in this narration about the fact that like the whatever was left of the dinosaurs went below and like evolved, or is that like mentioned later?
I don't think they explain anything in this movie.
I think it just starts and they're like 65 million years ago, and like a meteor hits Brooklyn. I was like, I don't think it was Brooklyn that specifically got hit, but I'll buy into this fairy tale.
That's if you ask people from Brooklyn, they probably disagree with you.
Yeah, it's called New Jersey, but carry on.
I'm still trying to figure out why there was dinosaurs at the beginning.
Yeah. So then we switch to I guess it's 1973 because it's 20 years ago. And if this movie takes place at the time this movie came out, then this is 1973.
Would it be 20 years ago or 65 million and 20 years ago?
Oh.
Because they never specified. Shouldn't it be 64,900,075 years later?
Do you think they're smart enough to do that math? Do you think they really said they could?
I mean, I just did it in 10 seconds. I don't know if I'm right, but...
You did a lot more hard work than most of the people who worked on this movie. Holy shit. So a baby gets left at the steps of a church. This is one of those things where even after seeing this movie as much as I have, I still go, man, this is such a weird opening sequence. Like a woman is just running through the streets with a hood on, and then she leaves a baby at the front of a church.
Well, she was walking through the sidewalks perfectly first, and then chaotically running through the streets.
She saw somebody.
First drama.
So there was no one there. Yeah.
And a baby's not left
It's
at the
an egg.
steps.
Oh, an egg. It was an egg.
Boombox-looking devices. Well, it's a
Yeah,
device, that opens into
That
the
opens
egg.
up to an egg. Yeah.
And then it takes the nun probably 45 seconds too long to notice that there's something in front of her.
Yep. That's fair. That's fair. That's totally fair.
I'm gonna just apologize because at the end of this show, when we read all the comments of people who are like, "Man, I love this movie," and we're not doing a great job being on your side.
Again, I'm gonna rip it apart, but I love it. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again, but I had a good time.
I'm probably gonna watch it again tomorrow.
There you go.
Go
I
for
respect.
You could poke fun out of admiration.
Yeah.
I make fun of movies I love.
That's
All good.
the
That's
same.
the point of the show.
Hey, we all
are
loved
a-
Anaconda
we-
and we gave it shit.
You guys keep me around.
Someone said that we are a comedy review show, and I said,
Are we really?
I'll take it. If people think
I'm
we're
usually
funny,
Between
Sure.
you two, not
I'm
me.
usually just talking
I'm
out
just
my
laughing
ass
at you.
or putting my hand in it.
or whenever we have guests on and they're way funnier than any of us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I just steal quotes from other properties.
So yeah, she drops off the boombox device
Mhm.
and then just fucking swan dives into a manhole. She doesn't actually do that. I'm just gotta be
That'd be
comedic,
amazing.
you know. But yeah, and then she just runs into fucking Dennis Hopper, who just comes out of the shadow like,
Who's
What are you
waiting
doing?
there for her? Yeah.
"Yeah, what are you doing?" And then,
How's it going, ma'am?
and then she pushes him, and then rocks fall on top of her and kill her. Which you don't really get that idea. I was like, did it just separate them? Because for
Yeah.
one, the woman who we see is the same woman who's Daisy. It's the same actress.
Yeah.
The mother.
You look
Yeah.
just like your mother.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So the egg hatches, and you're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
shit, I don't remember this at all. Does a dinosaur come out? No, it's a fucking baby. And
Yeah,
it's a
so in case you missed
didn't
it,
know
there
babies were
was
fish from eggs.
there was an egg inside of the Philips CDI that they left outside in
Yes.
front of the nunnery.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, and the meteorite chunk.
Yeah, that's true.
Which how out of that
So-
whole giant meteor, that's all that
That's all you
broke
get.
off.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all you get.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Listen, it's all for the plot, baby. All for the plot. So we go to
Yes.
20 years later. The Mario brothers. We get to meet the Mario brothers. Mario and
Infamous
Luigi.
entry of the plunger samurai rack.
You have
Yeah.
you have 50-plus-year-old Mario and you have fucking 19-year-old Chang Leguizamo playing Luigi, and yet they're brothers. I mean, I guess that's not so far-fetched, but I'm like, all right, this kind of seems like uncle and nephew.
yeah. Or father and son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even that, I believe. So they are backed up on rent. They don't get a lot of work because they keep getting fucked over by Scapelli. Scapelli!
Ellie,
You son of a bitch.
we lost another job.
You know, their truck is fucked too.
Oh yeah.
I just love that John Leguizamo's always smiling. It's like the truck is like jerking back. He's just like, it's fine, Mario. It's fine.
He was just so happy to be.
He's
in
like,
that
you son of a
movie.
bitch. Oh my god. So yeah, so Scapelli, he's some rich dick who is he's digging shit up. He pretty much just runs everything. He's got like plumbing businesses and all this shit. But
He's a mobster.
yep,
Yeah.
that too.
Dude,
And,
in the version we watched, because it's got like all the extra deleted scenes, like they're trying to build like this heavy subplot with Scapelli. Like, dude, nobody fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
so yeah,
Like
so,
it's just a means to an end.
yeah. So yeah, so these paleontologists they find bones in the dig site that the Scapelli company was digging in. So paleontologists get to come in and do some research, which then stops the production from Scapelli. And Scapelli's not about it. He comes up in his limo. He's got to talk to, we find out is Daisy. She's the head of the dig. And he's being all big and bad, trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. And she's like,
While
I got to call the
undressing her with his eyes.
Yep, 100%. And she has to go call the university to try to get more money or try to get more security on the site because I guess like he keeps sending his goons to try to intimidate her. And she's not about it. She kind of stands up for herself, but then she kind of like cowers away and then gets kidnapped. But that's not for a little while.
Well, we also jumped over some of the best stuff right there that happens right before, around the same time.
Okay, go for it.
The van, they're driving there and they realize that Scapelli beat them to the job.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know the cutthroat industry of plumbing was first come, first serve.
I know, right? You should call a guy and they show up. It's not like an armada
they
comes.
must have called two and they're like, let's see who gets there first.
Yeah.
And then the cliche, good guys open the hood of their car and smoke blows out.
Yeah. Yep.
It's-
And then
you
all
gotta-
they have to do is buy water
And just put water on it and you're good to go.
from the
all you need.
convenience store. Yeah. Is that $3?
Everybody's got tap water. You don't need. I want to point out in that one point in this movie, unless I missed it, nobody says, "Hey, I'm walking here." Like you never hear that.
I would
you
be
just get
so
Mario saying,
It's
"Don't
because
touch
they
the
couldn't
tools."
afford anybody in the background to say that.
Yeah.
It's just as many as I mean, just building on cliches. I just assume
Well,
that's
yeah.
what happened.
So Daisy, she goes, I guess she's got to walk from the dig site all the way to this payphone, which seemed very far because Mario
in
and
the 90s, they were
Luigi
everywhere.
Yeah.
but she walked like 3 miles to get to this phone booth, to the phone. And Mario and Luigi, were they at the same place, or was this a different place that the Scapellis like had?
I think it was.
somebody.
I think it was. Yeah.
It wasn't it where they were broke down though? Because he's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
get
where the
phone
truck
calls. I'm
broke
gonna get the
down, yeah.
water.
Yeah. And Luigi has to call to see if they got any jobs, and he's got some dude flipping out on the other line, and he just hangs up because he sees Daisy. He's like, "Ooh, babe alert!" Hang up the phone.
Whoa. And you guys' cut. What is the person saying on the other line?
I have no idea. I didn't pay attention.
Because the one we're listening to is like, dude, we got a big fucking thing going on here. Send all the plumbers you can. We'll pay them per person by money. And then Luigi's like, oh, it's a fucking dame, and like hangs up the phone.
Probably
Like, you can
that was
have
probably
phone.
that was probably what they were
still-
talking about. Yeah.
Because it's like it just reinforces Luigi being like the bumbling idiot because that's like a job they could have had for money
Yeah.
that they needed. And he's like,
Yeah, because
"I'm
Mario
a
walks
lady."
by him and just goes, "Hey, you got any work?" And he's like, "No." But then he
Luigi.
walks over as Mario's pouring the water into the truck, and Luigi's like, "Hey, look at her. She's." I mean, he doesn't say this, but he's like, "She's hot," and he's like, "Don't talk to her, idiot. Stop being a bitch. Go talk to her." And he's like, "I can't." Okay, I'll do it. And then he has
He's
like
like,
a really hard
"Remember
time
stuff."
doing it. Yeah.
Hey, but at least Mario's seriously though. At least Mario reinforces Luigi. He's like, dude, go for it. Just go.
Yeah.
You know,
He's being a good.
it's like do your
diplomat.
thing, man.
So he literally just meets this woman. He I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but he asks her to dinner, and she's like, "Oh no!" He asked her for a ride. He's like, "Hey, let me
Yeah, get in
drive
the
you back."
van.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another
It's
thing.
broke
Don't do
down,
that.
hop-
I just met you.
Want
Get in my
some
van.
You want some candy?
Yeah, that sounds
Our
really
van
weird.
they were
Holy
just out
shit.
here trying to fix because it broke down.
Yeah.
She can come on in.
I love it though. He asks her if she wants a ride, and she's still trying to decide. And he's like, "Oh well, it's broken." And then Mario's like, "No, it's not. It's fine." It's like, get in.
Because
Don't
the
worry,
plot
all these-
allows it.
Yep. They get back to
Like,
the
this was the day. This was the days before Yahoo Chat. So carry on.
they get back to the site, and this is when Luigi asks her out to dinner, and she's like, she looks like she wants to say no, but she's like, her eyes are so, you can't see with my glasses on, but her eyes are so wide, and she's like, yeah, sure.
Apparently, it's implied, doesn't it? It's implied that she doesn't have the best luck or something. I think.
Behind Luigi, going, "You want to say something to her?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Dinner, 6 p.m." It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Just helping him out.
just a
man.
little port.
Prod.
Well, I feel like she felt obligated because
Nah,
the
that's
brother
fair.
was pushing.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
I think
yeah,
she had fun.
so after all this, the next scene is them at dinner, and it's Mario and his very stereotypical Italian New Yorker girlfriend, from wherever they're from. They're from Brooklyn, right? Or Manhattan?
guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's got his girlfriend, and they're talking, and the conversation's really not that interesting until Mario and his girlfriend are just like, yeah, we're gonna leave. We'll leave you guys alone. You guys do whatever. And he's like, oh, let me walk you home.
Yep.
So they walk home, and it's this really just lovely conversation about how, oh man, Luigi really loves what I do. He's just on board with everything. He loves it. You did
It's kind of an
dinosaurs?
awkward conversation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where he's like, she goes, you know, if you want to leave, that's perfectly fine. And he goes, I was going to say the same thing. And then instead of it just ending there, he has to repeat the entire thing. You're like, you didn't need that. You could have just been like, I was going to say the same thing. And then we move on.
But
Where
then
she goes, hey, you
some
want
weird like teenage Disney heartthrob like child flirtation scene that happens there too.
with her racing to her dig
They're
site? You want to go see my dig site?
They race to the completely unlocked gate to a paleontologist site.
Yep.
I love where he running. He gets the face like, I beat you. And I'm like,
And you can't forget. You can't forget, if we go back for just 1 second, because it was something that I never understood why it happened so they forced the interaction with Mario's date and Daisy, where she grabs the meteorite to kind of foreshadow that that's something important.
oh yeah.
But then she talks about, I never knew my parents. I was raised as an orphan. And he looks at Luigi like, oh, you never knew your parents either. But they never touch on that subject of the Mario brothers not knowing their parents ever ago.
Yeah.
We didn't get to meet Wario Mario and Waluigi Mario, because Mario and Luigi's parents were a gay couple, because that's how Wario and Waluigi came to be.
It has to be.
But they're gone now. Wah!
You did.
I just created lore for the Mario universe.
I like, you were very convincing in your creation.
Yeah, you were dedicated. Like, I'm gonna make this shit stick.
So I forgot to mention at the dinner, she what's the girlfriend's name?
I can't remember.
What is it?
There you go.
Daniela.
Which I liked her character. I didn't think like she was just like, I said she was that generic, really just anytime you would think of like a woman from New York, like who lives in the city, she's Italian. That's your stereotype. But to be honest, her character was actually pretty good. I liked
and well acted. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think she was like a terrible actress. I just thought her character was very.
Well, they tried to shoehorn they shoehorned in a stereotypical like.
She didn't have the nanny voice.
Yeah.
Oh, Fran Drescher.
God.
Fran Drescher.
I love Fran Drescher, but I can't do that. Her and fucking Janice from Friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Which she doesn't sound like that in real life, which I found out way later in my life. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But you find out at dinner that she's got the stone because
the tanning.
Daniela asks about, so they ask about the stone. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. I got it when I was, I've had it all my life. I didn't know my parents, blah, blah, blah. And you pretty much put 2 and 2 together that she's the baby from the beginning of the movie. If you've never seen the movie before.
Because Daniela's like, oh, I can get you a tan. Wear a Skippy bathing suit and take that rock off or whatever she says. And she like grabs it. I never take it off.
And we had to add that thing of just like, yeah, get naked. Get a skimpy bathing suit. Like, okay. We could just say you could go tanning.
Skimpy.
Yeah.
PG. Everybody in this movie was PG. Holy shit. So they go to, we forgot to mention fucking Iggy and Spike. We forgot to mention those 2 clowns.
Yeah, and another cliche 90s movie scene, he runs into a glass panel being walked in front of. That he has like 2 whole blocks to figure out is there.
Are these supposed to be like a play on
Skull?
Yes.
Yes.
Power Rangers.
Yes. It's probably, I think one of them might be the same actor.
It wasn't. But it wasn't the same guy. No.
But I always, is this like a play on later on when they create? Did Bowser have kids in the games before this movie?
Super Mario 3.
If I remember right,
that's right.
in like the English one, they were called like the Koopa kids. Yeah. But I think in Japan, they're just like relatives, like cousins, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think they were kids. I think they were like.
There's no like actual
family.
Yeah, they're not like
I
babies.
swear one of his kids in like the later games, I know they're like most of them are his children. But one of them was Iggy, I thought.
Yeah, there's Iggy, I don't remember them all.
They're,
Ludwig.
yeah, they're all named after musicians.
Yeah, all after
they're all-
classical musicians.
Yeah. And then the actual this
Well,
one,
sorry, not classical, because there's Lemmy as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think the only one that's actually biologically his, and I have no idea where he picked this
Bowser
fucker
Jr.?
up, was Bowser Jr. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's a thinker.
I think he just figured a time machine and just picked him, his younger self up and just brought it into reality.
I hate Bowser Jr. so much.
Thank you, Super Mario Sunshine.
So yeah, we forgot to mention Spike and Iggy. They're these two clowns of henchmen for, I guess, a King Koopa.
The worst henchman ever.
Yeah,
they're horrible.
And they're trying to get Daisy, but they don't know what Daisy. They don't really know what Daisy looks like or anything.
Two arms and a head.
Yeah. So they see the right girl.
They're not wrong.
They see the right girl when they first see when she's going to the phone after she's going to go call the school, and they see her. They're like, oh, I think that's her because she's got two legs, blah, blah, blah. They say the thing. And then later on, Mario drops off his girlfriend, Daniela, and they're like, oh, that kid, that must be her. Well, it doesn't look like her. Oh, well, she's disguised.
Yeah.
So
because the plot needed to hold there again.
Right.
It all comes back to everything can change on a whim when the plot needs it.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to mention that there's just been girls disappearing throughout the city.
Yeah.
Up until this point.
Yeah.
It's a minor thing. You kind of forget about it until you get to the scene where you see all the girls like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Let's again hang on that old scene from a while back to, hey, why don't you jump in my van?
Because Mario was like, you must be all the missing girls. They're like, oh yeah, that plot.
We forgot about that part
subplot.
of the plot.
Oh shit. Okay. So Daisy and Luigi go to the dig site, and she shows him the fucking. I swear to God, it's just like it's like the Lego version of fucking the Jurassic Park scene with the raptor.
Yeah.
Look at this dinosaur. People are gonna hate us watching this.
Spit my water out.
Listen, Lego Jurassic Park is a fucking gem. All right.
Oh, I 100% that entire game. It's one of the only games I've ever 100% in my life. I love the Lego Jurassic World game. It's so good. But yeah, so he goes down there, shows it. It's not that bad. I'm just being a jerk.
No.
So she shows her the whole skeleton and all that, and he's like, and Luigi's like, this is so cool. This is so cool. This is so cool. And you're like, all right, fucking chill, man.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Everything is cool.
And then
people awesome.
And then just people book out of the side room and there's just water flooding everywhere. You're like, where the fuck did those guys come from? And why didn't I hear them?
Nobody heard them or saw them.
And that's
funny.
the sabotage we're talking about right there.
Yeah. It's sabotage.
I like how they wore their Scapelli outfits to sabotage.
Just
fucking Beastie Boys comes out.
Beastie Boys would have been a way better soundtrack for this movie. I'm just letting y'all know. Like,
that song.
It's so funny. They're like,
no sleep till Brooklyn, dude.
That's true.
Scapelli, because they've got it written on the back of their
uniforms.
Like if you're gonna commit a crime, there's Scapelli. Maybe not have your henchmen wear the uniforms with your name on them.
Just a Scapelli, Thugs for Hire phone number on the bottom.
Scapelli did it.
That's right.
So of course there's a flood happening, so they gotta get they're like, she's like, you know what to do, right? And Luigi's like, not really. We gotta get my brother. So they go to Mario. They're like, Mario, the Scapelli guys, they're flooding the dig site. And he's like, Scapelli, I'm in. Grabs his fucking tools and is off. Scapelli.
Come on, Luigi, let's go balls deep. And then it's like grabs his gear. And
do you notice that when he gets to the spot with all the pipes, there's times where he's not putting the wrench on anything. He just puts it up and then just puts his hand over it so you don't see anything. Just all right, Mario, great job, man.
He asked for all this stuff. I'm like, that probably didn't fit.
Oh my God.
Give me a 15/16.
Oh yeah.
Something open-ended and like, what the hell is that?
So while they're fixing this, Spike and Iggy show up and They got some big old wrenches, and they just boink both Mario and Luigi in the head.
Was it I thought they got hit with a light.
Whatever. They got hit over the head with
Yeah, it was
something heavy. And they're both
that made
and then Daisy gets taken.
Long noise.
And they wake up fairly usually when you watch a movie and somebody gets knocked out, it usually takes about 3 days for them to wake up because I guess that's real life. But it takes them about not even, I don't think. They're literally running out of that room right as Daisy's getting taken.
Yeah.
They're like, oh
like
man.
10 seconds, if that.
Because the plot calls for it.
Yep.
Yes, plot armor.
So Daisy gets taken by Iggy and Spike, and they take her through this like fucking weird CG portal that leads them to the Mushroom Kingdom, as I'm going to call it, even though I guess it's called Dino Hatton.
Well, they get her there by taking her through the most conveniently lit tunnels that allow them to see the shadows.
And they're always only like 15 feet from Mario and Luigi.
Just a pace behind.
Yeah, it looks like the scene where they're going from like portal looks like something from like Hellraiser or something. Like,
somebody was on some trip.
Just like that Mario just falls along with this. Like, I get that Luigi's all hell-bent on saving Daisy, but Mario's like, I don't fucking know this woman. Why am I helping her?
A girl he fell in love with just moments before.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here.
Well, it's like they're on the ledge where the water's flowing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of convenient that they don't fall off, even though Luigi's takes 2 steps forward. I'm like, yeah, he would have been in the water.
It's like,
but no,
he's
fine.
Composite that matte painting very well to match where his steps are. So she gets taken to the Mushroom Kingdom, as I'm going to call it in this video, and we get to meet King Koopa and Lena, Dennis Hopper and Fiona Shaw. They're pretty much talking about merging the 2 worlds, this world and the world above, or I guess below. I don't know where this world is exactly. And so the whole lore behind this, I know it's not really super explained well, is that when the meteor struck the Earth, it killed most of the dinosaurs, but whatever dinosaurs were left were sent below, and they evolved into humanoids.
The humans.
Yeah.
And live now in a different dimension.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Super Mario. Very, very Super Mario.
Very. All those human characters running around those early Super Mario games all the time.
So the way they're going to be able to do this is with the piece of meteorite that Daisy has, and to have Daisy herself, because I guess she's the only one who can actually merge the final piece into the meteorite. So so Spike and Iggy tell Koopa that they have the princess, but unfortunately, she doesn't have the stone. I don't remember. Mario and Luigi have the stone, right?
Yes, they do, because somehow, even though when everybody else goes through the portal, they fall.
She keeps coming out. She's
like, she keeps coming back, and Luigi tries to grab her.
And then he's like, oh, I got it. Oh, no, I just got your stone.
But see, Luigi fell fine. It's Mario that fell, and like feet went in the air when he went through. I'm like,
and then
he's falls. He's like this, and then I'm like, okay, yeah.
They literally
that's how you fall.
They literally just recorded him laying on the. They recorded him laying on the floor, him just flailing his arms, and they're like, "We're just gonna spin you around."
What I don't think they explain to you when you go to watch this movie is you're actually supposed to take mushrooms before you watch it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody did. Whoever directed this definitely had something good.
Time, I guess.
They had a very good time.
So this place is fucked. This place is like, this is where like Mad Max would show up to just fill up his car to get the fuck out of there.
Spike Punk.
Yeah, it's so dreary and just disgusting, and everybody is just miserable, which I would probably be miserable too if I lived in this place. It's like Detroit. I had to make that to anybody who lives in Detroit. I'm kidding, people from Detroit. I've never been there. I know you have a terrible
I've been to
team,
Cleveland,
but,
so I've been very close.
Damn it, you're here. I should have made it be Cleveland, not Detroit. Sorry, everybody from.
Hey, listen, we're Cleveland. We got the Browns at least.
Okay.
Sports ball humor, everyone. Sports ball humor.
I just thought he was talking about toilets.
So as Mario and Luigi are trying to get themselves reacquainted with this world, or they're trying to get acquainted with this world, not reacquainted, they've never been fucking here before. They lose the stone because Big Bertha shows up with her cool boots. She takes the stone and she's like, "Go, gadget boots," and just it fucking jumps because the boots are in the game, right? They're in Mario.
Yeah.
Is that the mega jump? Like, is that the double jump? Like when you hit like something on the top of the head and you get the extra boost?
So what
I have no idea where the boots came from, to be honest with you.
I don't know. They get held up by an old lady.
Right. Who is literally dressed like a generic old lady. Just
yeah.
Have you ever been here before?
Yeah.
Oh, your shit.
She's like, "Do you have a weapon?" They're like, "No."
No. Sorry.
Yeah, the boots. I would assume it's not obviously it's not a reference to. I don't remember the in-game name for it, but in Mario 3 and level 5, the Goombas that are in the giant boots, and you can jump on them and ride the giant boots.
Oh yeah. The big,
over the nipper plants, but I don't think that's what that is. I think it's like, well, how do we make them do big jumps? Fuck it, super boots. That's in the game, right? Super boots
on them.
Okay.
So after the rocket's taken, the police show up and arrest Mario and Luigi.
Well, they're plumbers.
Because they're plumbers.
You're missing a key point of the plot, though, right there. They shoehorn. They got to make sure you know this is Toad.
That's right. He's playing the guitar, and this is Toad. He gets arrested because he's playing music. You're gonna arrest him because he's playing music, and they're like, "You're coming too." And he's like, "Why are we getting arrested? Because you're plumbers." Oh, so I'm getting arrested for being a plumber?
They see his tools, and they're like, "Plumbers." Do
what if he was a carpenter? What if he was a fucking mechanic?
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm glad they kept that long-standing bit of backstory for Toad of him being a known musician, so that was nice.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, he was definitely known for playing the guitar and
absolutely.
What is that one from? Is that from like Super Mario 2 or something, where he's playing a fucking guitar?
Oh, clearly, yeah.
In a dystopian world.
Oh, absolutely.
You said something about that's Toad.
Oh, I was like, that's Toad. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Is that important? Can he just been like any fucking guy off the street?
They just had to shoehorn it in.
So they get arrested.
And they only arrest him because they're plumbers, because it's over their PA or whatever saying,
"I get the plumbers. Plumbers don't wear ties." Somebody gets that.
Well, it's because the cousins go back to Koopa and say that the plumbers have it.
Plumbers have the rock.
Have the necklace.
Apparently nobody's a plumber in this world at all.
You see this world?
They must not go to the bathroom.
Well, they're dinosaurs. They just go wherever they want.
They just shit in the streets.
Yep.
That's probably why it's so dingy.
Yeah, it's like Detroit.
It's one it's one set. True. You notice that it's just one fucking set.
Well, they gotta spend money on two.
Here's Dino Hatton, and it's just this one strip. You get to see like a garbage place, but I'm guessing that's like outside. That's like
it's
an actual fucking desert. It is. It's kind of like Batman and Batman Returns, where you got like it's like one street corner.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's all we could afford. But those movies were actually really good.
Hey, so is this one.
This one is fun. It's not good.
It's a movie.
I won't say I hate it. It's just not.
I will.
I didn't say I hated it. I just said.
So they get put in jail in these really like chicken coop fucking jail cells. Toad's up top. He's talking to them, and they get called in because they got a lawyer, and the lawyer happens to be King Koopa because he wants to talk to them about getting the rock. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he lies. He talks about how like King Koopa's like a slime ball. Like he's a piece of shit pretty much. And then he pretty much outs himself. He's like, yeah, I'm King Koopa. He's like, but you said that about yourself? He's like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'll admit to it.
Well, I think it's an odd choice. They made him a germaphobe. That's really weird.
Do you notice how he walks? He walks like a T-Rex. He always has his arms like this.
His arms yeah.
He always has his arms like that. And I was like, oh, I like that
you're right.
little
Hoskins
touch.
goes, Yeah, he goes in for the handshake and he won't shake his hand at first.
Yeah.
And he's constantly like wiping his hands off and about people being gross and whatnot.
But he
But then 10 seconds later he shakes Mario's hand.
Yeah. Consistency. Not in this movie.
As we haven't brought it up enough, I'm gonna bring up the BDSM prison with the whole
the sex dungeon. Yeah, Koopa sex dungeon.
Like pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they put frozen stuff down the pants.
Oh yeah.
They did the windsock thing. Like,
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, what was that about? And then them taking their mug shots with their arms chained above their heads.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I don't know I don't know how they came up with some of the stuff for this movie.
And the thing is when I first watched this, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, and like you never think of that shit. You're like,
no, you're just like, okay, it's
I'm having fun.
And he's the one that made
it. Oh no.
He's the one that made the comment about it, and I was like, gosh, it's getting worse and worse.
It does, yeah.
It's like make a good scared face. Spires like a good scared face.
I'm like, are they gonna with the whole like gun looking things when they take their picture?
Yeah, they got like.
I was like, are they gonna kill him now?
Yeah, they
like
come out the red dots around the wall. Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, they're like a bunch of kids are coming to see this movie. Let's make it as terrifying as possible.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. So they get taken downstairs. The Toad, Mario, and Luigi, they get taken downstairs to this like chamber where he talks about like turning
Chamber of Secrets.
These useless people into Goombas. But also they can evolve.
Spray.
Yeah. And they put him in the sea, and it's cool. They put him in the sea, and then he goes up, and you actually see his head like fucking morph around and then turn into the dinosaur head.
But his body becomes like huge.
Yeah.
His body is massive.
And he gets a harmonica still.
Yeah, why did they do that?
I
love
musical.
With the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I know, that's like, how are we going to teleport? Give him a fucking harmonica. Who gives a shit? He's a goon. Why would they do that? Plot convenience, I understand, but he's a fucking goon.
But I like that about him because he's still
he's always a good guy at heart.
But,
yeah,
I understand.
Like even later, he's fighting that in his head.
Yep.
But
trying to be a good person.
I understand for the film, but if you just think about it. Like they're most supposed to be mindless goons. Who fucking cares if one of them has a harmonica? All they only care about is the weight room. Excuse me, man.
How does their body get so big?
That's what I'm wondering.
The fact that his mouth can't even reach the harmonica. I'm like, how is he playing it?
So this scene always makes me laugh because like Mario and Luigi get out of their restraints and like knock everyone out and then throw King Koopa into the chair, and he's like, Citizen's like, please help me. Please. Like he's really not that scared.
This should be all right.
But he goes into the machine and he's about to turn, but it stops. And you just see his eye change.
His lizard eye.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, he's a lizard person. No, but the fact that he slips and falls into that other guy's body parts.
The goop that was on the ground or whatever.
I was like, ooh.
Like, oh, okay.
I was like, I wish his whole body would have gone into it, but no, he just slipped and fell in the chair.
Oh, the goop on the ground?
Yeah. Well, where he didn't change the guy.
Lizard Coom.
But he came out and he kind of exploded.
King Coomer?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
I'll stop.
So there's a car chase.
Yes, why?
Oh, that's so. The sparks is my favorite. They're on everything.
Everywhere.
Yes, it's like Power Rangers and shit. Like, oh.
Well, they have
a Mad Max scene all of a sudden with the most friendly music ever.
Well, they show the cop car earlier that has the thing on the back, and it catches like when a jet lands on a aircraft carrier, and it catches that like thing that slows it down. That's what they did with the car, where it's just like it's driving like fucking 80 miles an hour, and then hits that thing right in front of the police station.
But it reminds me of bumper cars. You know when you drive bumper cars and it has yes.
What about the dump truck later? It's just doing dump truck things, or like the fucking loader. It's just got little sparklers going off on the top. Like why?
Everybody's
We want you to know we're
partying.
here.
Yes.
What I didn't understand about the cars, though, is they get in and Mario's like, how do you all that? I've been playing video games, you know? But then all of a sudden it pans to Mario and he knows exactly what levers to move to get the cop car going.
You literally said all that and it all cut out on me.
Oh no!
I heard about half of it.
You literally were like, you said something and then it was like nothing for about 2 seconds. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? They did. They knew what you were talking about.
He put the brain in the robot. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Movie. So they get to the edge where they go through like a fucking cave and then they shoot out the end and they get saved by fungus. And Mario
Instead of stretchy cheese.
Yeah, smegma.
Yeah, and then Mario won't admit that it wasn't the fungus. It was his beautiful driving. It's like you drove out the end of a cave and almost died, but this fungus, if this
even
fungus
though
is
their
here,
car
you
is
died.
like this.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's my superior driving.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks,
Those
Mario.
breaks.
And I guess Bob Hoskins, in some point where they were filming the car chase scenes, broke his finger.
Oh,
and the whole, and if you barely see it throughout the movie, but he's wearing a pink cast over one of his fingers because I guess he broke his finger during that.
Oh, damn!
I might have to go back and watch that.
A little tidbit for you, a little fact.
I love it. I love it. So
Like
Koopa
noticing little things like that.
Does all his own stunts.
Yeah,
clearly, yes.
It's like Jackie Chan.
I would love to see Bob Hoskins do like Jackie Chan stunts.
Well, you're not going to see him do that anymore because
not anytime soon.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying.
R.I.P. Bob Hoskins.
That's why they cut that martial arts scene out of My Friend Roger Rabbit. He'd show everybody up.
Oh, with the
Oh God. So we find out Koopa loves to hang out in the mud. He's a mud guy.
It doesn't make any sense.
But he likes it because it's clean and dirty at the same time. I'm like,
and Lena's just there awkwardly sitting there like, why am I here? She looks like she doesn't want to be there. And then stupid Spike and Iggy show up and they're fucking saying their dumb shit. And then they walk into the mud. Like Iggy, I can't remember which one is which, but one of them is always talking shit about the other one. He's like, oh, this one's an idiot. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about as he's like waist deep in the mud. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Her whole thing when she gets in the mud, she's like, mud, glorious mud. And I'm like, you're weird.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to relax and you're just all like overreacting about the mud.
I love it's just Dennis Hopper's fucking head. Like, just chin deep in mud. Like, he's dedicated to it.
Like, down here, I can't even get low enough, but it's just.
But you can hear him breathing. He's like trying to get her to shut up about the stupid mud.
I just wonder, like, when they were done with that scene, does he just come out like, guys, just hose me the fuck off,
me down.
Please.
Get me the fuck out of here. So he's like, these fucking idiots are fucking idiots. So he brings them to that same room, and I guess he can evolve them to make them smarter. Yes. And they're just annoying.
Yes.
Because they're just saying useless shit.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
So my favorite part of that whole, and I obviously didn't know this until recently, but they evolved. Why? First of all, why Koopa doesn't use it on himself to advance, whatever. But they evolved them into being a more advanced species, and he gets up out of his chair and he goes, "What's the square root of 26,481?" It's 191. It's not. It's 162.7. So another little fun fact for you. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that's great.
He's like, is that really right? Like, who fucking cares? People will believe it.
I don't know if they just made something up or they're like purposely make this wrong. So 30 years later, when somebody's talking about this movie, they find that out.
So you're telling me there may have been some really good subtlety in this writing here, like in this specific
I'm gonna
scene.
Pretend so.
Yeah, we should all just at least give it some kind of credit and just like shelf that up. Like, yeah, they were on it on this scene.
I just hate it when they both get smart and they're like going back and forth.
Because they should have kept one of them dumb.
Yeah,
just
like
to have like a balance
during the process.
So Koopa, after he does this, he's like, all right, I need you to go to the desert to go get these two plumbers. And they're like, why would we do that? He's like, because you fucking work for me, morons.
Yep.
Go get them. And they're like, all right, whatever. I just love that whole thing. Like they're just like after they get smart and he tells them to do something, they're just like, why?
Yeah, they're like, we need to stay back and form a plan. He's like, that is the plan. Just go do it.
So Daisy gets I guess she runs into she's with the other girls, right? She meets the other girls first, right? She sees Daniela.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? And then Lena comes and gets Daisy, brings her to a room. She gets in a purple dress because I guess, does Daisy wear the purple dress in the game?
No, she wears the yellow and white.
Yeah, she's yellow. It's I don't think any of them wear a purple dress.
Because there's Rosalina. What?
Yeah, because she has a blue. She has like a teal blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she gets in like a dress, and then she meets Yoshi. It's just a little cool dinosaur. I liked Yoshi.
I thought the Yoshi shoehorned, but in a cool way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of act like Yoshi. I mean, he did the whole tongue thing and shit.
And that's when Koopa comes through, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah. She's like, "Where's my dad?" And he's like,
Around.
He's around somewhere. And he's like, we need that meteor. You know, we just want to, you evolved from dinosaurs. And then he's got to do the weird tongue thing. And then it's just
he was so cringy during
this.
this.
Like, he's like, you know why they call me King Koopa? He's like, okay. We know where this is fucking going.
So Mario
it's
and Luigi
Reptile from Mortal Kombat, actually.
Yeah.
From the movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
He's throwing the statue.
What is this?
Also one of my favorite bad movies.
Paul W.S. Anderson. Stop it. Stop it.
But I do enjoy that as a bad movie, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That one, yeah. When they wrote Mortal Kombat, they definitely researched the game, at least.
The 95 movie is probably the most faithful to the video game because, to be honest, the newest one wasn't.
No, I mean, it was a cool movie, but yeah, it was a weird adaptation.
Except for we have all of these amazing characters, but we're gonna make the main character a character who doesn't exist in the games. I digress.
I thought that idea was cool, but it didn't need to be the main focus of the movie. Yeah, that's. The 95 movie, best song ever.
Oh yeah, that's when the theme was when the theme was created, right?
Yep. And plus,
as a 10-year-old boy, I wanted to like burn my city listening to that song. It was so good.
Was that what got you into doing music?
It may be. It's somewhere deeply rooted in my brain, just stuck EDM and party music like early on.
There you go.
Randomly throughout his life, just randomly was Mortal Kombat.
My calling. No, that's cool though. No, I'm not making fun of you. That's dope as fuck.
So Daisy likes Yoshi. We kind of get that. Mario and Luigi, they steal a garbage truck to get back into the city. And oh no, never mind. So Mario and Luigi, they trick Iggy and Spike because they're still dumb. They're so stupid.
They're book smart, not street smart.
Yeah,
they have no common sense.
They crash their vehicle. Mario and Luigi are just wandering through the desert, and they notice them. They tie them up. They get information, but they also are like, "Hey, you're gonna help us." They're like, "Okay, that's fine." And then they steal a garbage truck to get back into the city. Mario and Luigi get the stone back from Big Bertha because they dress all fancy, go back to the club, and Mario has a really intimate dance with Big Bertha where he motorboats her to get the stone.
Oh, he did.
I was waiting for some other shit to happen. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And Luigi's over there like, yeah, baby. Go, Mario, go!
They missed the opportunity to have them wear red and green, though.
Yeah, they had Luigi and red and Mario and yellow.
Mario and yellow.
Yeah. Well, what is he yellow or orange when he gets the firepower?
He's white and red.
He's white and red.
Oh, okay. I can't. There's just so much going on in those games.
A lot of missed opportunities in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So he steals the stone, he leaves, and she's just like, I'm gonna help them later.
Their little
I
dance
love
where he's
Marion
like he's like messing with her neck, and I'm like, did she not notice what's going on? She's like, okay.
She
Clearly
can't feel
not.
anything because she's a fish.
So King Koopa then goes to visit the former king, who is now just a big giant glob of goop. I guess he's fungus. He just looks like a giant booger.
Which then
a larger booger, like another booger comes out of, which is just a weird image. But I guess he de-evolutionized him to create, because he was just a person, and then that's what he turns into.
We're like 2 steps away from Cronenberg right there, I swear.
And this is where you get the Mushroom Kingdom name drop from King Koopa. He's like, yeah, you might be turning this place into the Mushroom Kingdom, but this is my domain. And all you see is the thing just come out like what the fuck is this, man? I remember as a kid seeing this, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I? Notes.
Oh,
I don't know what my notes
everything that's yellow is him, and they're in his boogers.
Yeah, all the fungus is the
cheese.
king.
I just already made that joke.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
No, he's just everywhere. He's a massive organism.
I just wanted to think of it as stretchy cheese, not that.
This is so great. So Lena walks up to King Koopa after he meets with the king, and she goes, I need you. And he's like, let's not talk about this right now. And she's like, no, that's not what I meant.
Context.
She has like another plan, and he's like all bent out of shape because he's like, they have the stone, and shit's not gonna go to plan, and this is gonna be bad. And she's like, well, fuck you, I'm going my own way. And so you find out she had the stone the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and fucking gets the fuck out of there. And
I like how Mario and Luigi are playing catch with the stone in the club.
Yeah, Blue 42.
I'm like, why are you throwing it back and forth?
Yeah.
And of course, Mario misses, and Lena gets it. And I'm like, stupid. Why are you playing with it?
Because the plot needed it.
You ask me that all the time.
So this is when Mario and Luigi get their red and green outfits. Woo!
Yes, this is where we get our colors.
Finally.
Yes.
This is where you're like, man, this movie's about to get so good now. But it doesn't.
And then Luigi, and then you're like, yeah, they're in their suits. This is going to be badass. And then Luigi's like, I'm going to make all the Goombas dance in the elevator. And you're like, what? Which then comes back a couple more times. Yeah. So Daisy.
Because then they reuse their boots. They reuse the stompers, I guess is what she calls it. When they escape the.
Get to the stomper now.
I just love that the elevator door opens and another Goomba's just like, what?
Hell is going on?
Oh, sorry. Just fucking hobble.
It's like Murlocs.
Yeah. So the harmonica Goomba, formerly known as Toad, walks into her room, and she notices he's very nice because he brings in 2 very rare pieces of meat. And Yoshi's like, fuck yes. And she's like, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat things with faces. Could you give me a nice steaming plate of vegetables? And he gets fucking a boner immediately. And he's like, I'll get you some veggies, and just like bulldozes past Lena.
And Yoshi's like, dude,
veggies. And she's like,
what the fuck, asshole? Like, he wanted that
at
meat.
least give me one piece.
Yeah.
But he does get her, and he's like trying to get her to eat him, and she's like, no, and like runs in the opposite direction.
And
he's just trying to give her what she wanted.
He catches on fire.
Yeah, and then
she saves him though.
This is what you get for being nice.
Lena shows up, and she's like, well, I got the stone. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I don't need you, so I'm gonna kill you. So she goes to stab. She goes to stab him. No, I was trying to think of what to say because my brain doesn't work sometimes.
He's not caring about you stopping.
She tries to stab her. It doesn't work. Yoshi ends up biting her, knocks her down. She gets the fuck out of there.
Yoshi gets stabbed.
Yeah, and then Lena just stabs Yoshi in the neck.
What the fuck,
Like,
dude?
oh my god.
Usually they just throw him down a pit. They don't stab the dude. God.
What's worse?
I'm surprised it did not happen in this movie. Mario's like, I gotta make the jump.
I
Yoshi.
always felt bad when I'm riding Yoshi and I accidentally hit the button to jump off him. He just
the corkscrew jump. Yeah.
Yep, gotta do it, man.
I mean, listen, the creators of Super Mario World were geniuses because they're like, listen, this fucking dinosaur doesn't want people riding him. So when you accidentally jump off him, he's like, peace, and he tries to get the fuck out of there.
Well, and when you get him to spit his tongue out while you're riding him anyway, you're punching him in the back of the fucking head. Yeah, you're just like,
open your mouth, eat those apples.
Donkey punch.
God.
What's going on?
So
I just want apples, damn it!
So Daisy escapes, and she runs into Iggy and Spike, who I guess they're just like, you know what, fuck him, fucking Koopa, because they had a little interaction before where they stood up to King Koopa.
Yeah, like something about just stepping on the proletariat. And I won't be repressed.
Yeah. So they're like, we're gonna help you now, Daisy, because you're the princess. And we want you to take back over this this land of desolate sadness. And fucking Toad Goomba comes out with the steamed veggies that look delicious. He's like, where are you going? Come back. And then he gets his back set on fire. What the fuck?
Poor guy.
This dude is just fucking arrested for playing music. It's turned to a Goomba. Tries to be nice. And then gets his fucking back set on fire because they're giving these fucking idiot Goombas flamethrowers.
Well, she at least goes and gets a fire extinguisher.
Yes, she puts him out. And then she goes, I hope he's okay, as she leaves. And I was like, that's a nice touch.
I love when they're running away and one of the cousins gets the fire extinguisher and he's like behind him as they're running.
Smoke screen.
Oh my God, so good.
Like, you guys are still dumb.
She gets introduced to her father. And she's like, wait, what? Excuse me? And then she's like, and then later, when Mario and Luigi meet him, Luigi's like, such an honor to meet you, sir. And Mario's like, what the fuck is this?
I wonder if that was just like a genuine reaction. Like he was so drunk out of his fucking mind. He walked into that set.
What is going on with this movie?
Oh my God. The fungus has been helping them the whole time because it's the father. You know, he controls all the fungus around this place. And but every time Luigi's actually way smarter than Mario if you think about it. Like he always says the right things and Mario's just like, nah, it's just because I'm better. And you're like,
yeah,
no, Mario, shut the fuck up.
He's the
You're in a land where there's giants with small heads that have died. What the fuck are you talking about?
Where Luigi belongs, man. He messes up all the time in the our world, but in that world he's spot on. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, sad. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
So this is when after they jump down and they get like the fungus that they use as like a trampoline. It gets into another part, and then that's where they find Daisy. She's over the loudspeaker, like, "Hey, I'm over. Find me." And they're like, "I don't know where the hell I am."
Is so conveniently placed right
beside them. Yeah.
They're like, "We don't know where we are. How are we supposed to find you just from you going, come to me?"
I'm in section blah blah. Where is that?
What are you talking about?
After Luigi almost kills Mario.
That's the whole place.
Yeah. Right. This is right after Luigi almost kills Mario.
He's like, oh, good joke. He falls to his death almost.
Yeah.
Like it was a prank.
Thank God for Papa Mushroom down there.
Yep.
Can Papa Smurf.
So Daisy takes the blade out of Yoshi. Thank God. I'd have been so sad if Yoshi died. And and Mario and Luigi meet the dad, and you get the cool reaction. Lena orders the invasion because she has the stone. She's gonna put the thing in the meteorite, which would cause everybody to kind of get transported up to the regular Earth to then do the de-evolution. They're going to take all the de-evolution guns and turn all the humans back into their former selves, which are what exactly? Apes. But then they say monkeys all the time, and it's like, you just turn that dude into a chimp. That's not whatever.
That's not. Yeah, it's entirely different.
Whatever. So yeah, she orders the invasion without Koopa's authority, and he's like, "Well, arrest her." I'm trying to think where I've seen this cop before. The main cop he talks to all the time.
Yeah, he's like super familiar.
I've seen him in other movies. I can't think.
It's
something right now.
I think it's.
Well, Lena gets arrested by that cop as she's trying to make her way towards the meteorite.
Yeah.
Mario gets told that his girlfriend's there, and he's like, "Well, I gotta go save her." And he finds all the other missing girls. And you're like, okay. And they're all the same. It's literally the same girl, just dressed differently. Like the entire group is just this. It's just the same fucking girl. They're all Italian, New York women. Just, hey, it's Mario up there. Hey, hey, Mario. Well, that one girl, she's like, he like messages to his girlfriend. She's like, okay, I'll be quiet. And I was like, okay, I like this character. She's smart. You know, and then she brings her friends like, be quiet. Mario's there. We gotta be quiet. She's like, oh my God, Mario. And you're like, shut the fuck up. It's like, why would you do that? So Mario beats the shit out of all these Goombas. I was really hoping he was gonna like jump off one of the beds, like a trampoline, onto the top of one of the Goombas.
He needed
to look
it
like,
there, yeah.
But
yeah, why didn't that happen?
No, he just drop kicks him. I guess it's close enough. And so yeah, I forgot to mention that before Mario and Luigi fucked with the piping, so it froze all the pipes.
Oh yeah, because they made it the
cold.
heat supply. Yeah.
Because they're reptiles, they're cold-blooded. They need it to be warm.
Exotherm.
And they're all in there like, I'm freezing my ass off. Somebody turn a fucking heater on. Fuck. So Mario comes with an idea to take one of the mattresses and use it as a sled, and he fits every fucking person on this bed. This bed is monstrous because it fits everybody. And
but they couldn't fit Jack on the door at the end of Titanic.
Yeah, pretty much. So they go down, and Goombas grab another bed, and I think there's like 4 of them on one, or there's 2 on one and 2 on another. I don't remember the layout here, but they're getting knocked out left and right to the point where I love the one where he fucking stabs the wrench into the thing, and then they hit the wrench, and then you just see one Goomba riding on the back of the other Goomba, like
and there's sparks coming off of his feet, even though they're in a frozen tube.
More sparks, ladies and gentlemen.
So Koopa finally has the crystal, and Mario and Luigi, they meet back up after, because Luigi and Daisy get caught by Koopa. They're like getting transported out, and conveniently Mario and all the women burst out of this wall right next to him. Like, oh, hey, what's up there, bud? And he just like high fives him. And this is where you see a really quick glimpse of a bullet bill, because Mario takes one out of his back pocket and puts it in the grenade launcher, and you can see the face on the front of it. I'm like, oh, it's a bullet bill. They don't mention it, and he shoots it. And Mario, oh, this is where you get the line, trust the fungus. Trust the fungus. Probably the most iconic line in this movie.
Trust the fungus.
Yep. Mario knocks the rock out of Koopa's hand, and this is when Lena fucking just like, it's like somebody's trying to catch a foul ball and they accidentally fall out of the grandstands and then majorly injure themselves. Where she goes to stretch out for the rock and she catches it, and then she fucking lands on electrical wires and gets electrocuted to the point where she looks like the Bride of Frankenstein, but somehow is alive and able to run away going, hee. And okay,
I'll get you next time, my pretties.
Oh, she has what she wants. She doesn't need to see them again. So yeah, she runs away, and Mario and Daisy's like, we gotta stop her. Her line delivery is so great. We gotta stop her. And Luigi's like, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, we do.
I'll take another shot of whatever you got. I mean, let's go. Mario drops a bee bomb A bomb, sorry, not a bee bomb, a bomb. As
Drop that beat.
he drops it at the foot of, like, it's him and Koopa squaring off. He drops it, and then everybody's like, "Oh shit, it's a bomb." Even Koopa's like, "Whoa, I'm gonna back up a few steps," but it then falls, and you get to watch the entire journey of the bomb through everything. It can even climb up walls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, just like the games.
How did we miss this part?
So
he winds it up first too, because it was just a little shitty toy. It's
a little tiny thing. Yep.
Yeah.
And we go to Lena, who then puts the piece of the meteorite on, and she can't handle the power. She can't handle the power. And
Can't
she gets
do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
She gets blasted into the wall, just turns into an instant fucking fossil. And Luigi's line is, "She sure makes a good impression."
Who loves puns? We all do.
Everybody, except for this one.
So Daisy is the only one who can handle this power. And Luigi somehow can assist. She's like, "It has to be me, but can you help me?" And he's like, "Ah!" It's like getting fucking electrocuted and shit. And he's doing like, he's fucking using tools and stuff. And I'm like, I'm so confused.
Yeah,
you literally said 20 seconds ago, "I'm the only one who can handle this." And then he's there fucking using a tool to extract the piece out, but nothing's happening to him. And you're like, what? Okay. Koopa and Mario gets they get sent to the real world because of the fact that the piece was in there. So they get transported up to the Scapelli, literally where Scapelli is. He's just there. What's up, everybody?
And that's what I don't understand about that whole scene is they're all transported. The right characters are transported to not where they like are in the other world, but just where they conveniently need to be.
Yeah.
And then what's the Twin Towers are like, that part's very weird.
Yeah. This whole scene's weird. He's like, "My world, I'm back." And it's like, wait, what? You've probably never been here.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he de-evolutionized, or whatever the fucking word you want to say. The fucking Scapelli turns him into a fucking chimp, and he's like, "A monkey, turning you into a monkey." It's like, it's not a monkey, but whatever. And one of his goons picks him up. He's like, "Boss, what did they do to you?" Just carries him away. But then they get sucked back to Shitville. And
good name for it.
Yeah. And Big Bertha gives Luigi the jet boots again. And Mario and Luigi de-evolve Koopa. And the bomb blows up. So I like it when they're shooting at it with the gun, and he's like turning into like, he's slowly morphing between his like human face and the T-Rex face, which actually looks pretty decent until they do it when he blows up and he falls into the little thing that he was hanging out in before, where it's got like full of rocks. And they end up shooting at him again to the point where he just turns into a big fucking thing of glop. Just it looks like the T-1000 as it's going liquid, and then it just turns into actual liquid or just splats on the floor.
Speaking of the guy you said you thought looked familiar, the
cop?
officer,
yeah,
the cop. It's Don Lake. He played Mossberg in T2.
One of the cops.
One of the cops that's interviewing
Sarah Connor
in the crazy house.
Like we know who this guy is. He looks just like that dude who shot up that station X amount of years ago. Killed 17 cops that night.
Yeah.
Gotta fucking know who it is.
I don't think that's what I remember him from, even though I literally just watched that movie a few weeks ago.
And he looks familiar from something else. I can't put my finger on it either.
That was the big thing I recognized him from.
So Koopa is dead. The place is free. Everyone's back to normal. And when the fucking king gets turned back into a human, guess who it is? Lance fucking Hendrickson. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How much did they pay him to be in this movie for 2 seconds?
Gotta get a cameo somewhere.
Jesus Christ. I was like, I literally did not know that until I watched this last night. I was like, is that Lance Hendrickson? And then I literally waited until the credits rolled and I was like, oh my God, it was.
Well, I have IMDb
Fucking
pulled up because
Bishop.
we didn't see this part. And I was like, I didn't
Bishop,
see him.
Bishop from Aliens was in this movie for 2 fucking seconds. He's like, I love those plumber guys. And I was like, that is the only line he has in this movie. And he's wearing like a generic king outfit where it's like the big poofy shoulders. And the only thing he's missing is the crown.
Yeah, and that's from Mario 3. Like the character every time you beat like a castle. Yeah, I didn't understand how they again.
Oh yeah, where you had the staff, right?
Yeah.
I would like flip it.
Yeah,
They would catch it.
There were various aminals.
Yeah. So they need to leave. And Daisy's like, I can't leave. I gotta be here because this is my kingdom now. And Luigi's sad. And I was like, why doesn't Luigi just fucking stay? What is he doing up there? He's an apprentice. He's not making much money. His brother probably doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, they're about to get evicted anyway. He's got a free place to live now.
So, but he leaves with Mario and she stays with Yoshi and the Goombas because I guess the Goombas are just going to stay Goombas. I don't fucking know. And of course the Goomba had to be Toad. And I was like, hey, it wasn't just some random fucking Goomba. So the news talks about the whole event.
I'd like to call them the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. Sure, dude.
I was like, get it in there somewhere.
I was like, wait, they told the story and people were like, that must have happened. We need to document
they send
this.
the girls back and they're like, go get help. Like, who's gonna believe what's going on right now? But somehow then they're like,
they're like, hey, excuse me, officer, come here. There's a fucking portal in this wall that you need to jump in here and it's weird. And they're like, what drugs are you on tonight, ma'am? So it's 3 weeks later.
Everybody's been on. And
Luigi's been sad the whole time. He's just really sad. And Mario's like, stop moping around, you big bitch. And he's got he, his Daniela's there. She's making some spaghetti because they're Italian. They gotta have fucking spaghetti, right? Yep. And Daisy shows up. She busts through. I like how it shows her feet first, so you don't know who it is. You're like, oh shit, who is it? And then it's Daisy. She's like, Mario, Luigi, we gotta go back. And they're like, and fucking Mario's like, honey, I gotta go. And it was like, wait, what?
Oh, I believe.
Yeah. Gotta go.
The audacity for that movie to end with thinking they're gonna have a sequel.
Yeah, Luigi literally was like, Mario, you believe? He's like, I believe. And you're like, okay, alrighty. And that's it. That is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Well, that's not it. Did you?
I know there's a post-credit scene where I guess Spike and Iggy are asked or like approached about getting a video game made about the events of this movie.
The adventures that they go on, yeah. And they pull off what looks at the time like a pair of Pit Viper glasses. The one guy's wearing. One of the brothers. Like I don't know if it's Iggy or Spike. But.
Two brothers.
Do you think anybody on May 20th, 1990 stuck around that theater to watch that post-credit scene?
Absolutely.
Only the people working there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think so either.
This was before you could Google it on.
How many stingers are at the end of Super Mario Brothers? Well, they give you 24 paragraphs, and then there's this many stingers at the end of things. Fucking people writing that article. Yeah.
It's like those people that write the recipes. It's like, I don't need to know your life story. Just give me the damn recipe.
Recipe for eggs. Yeah, well, here's my origin story, and this is how my grandmother invented the chicken egg, and then we're going to be down here, and here's your recipe. And like, thanks, guys. That's what I came here for.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that is it, everybody. That is the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. And maybe next year when the Mario Brothers animated movie comes out, we'll definitely be talking about it on this channel because
I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm very much looking forward to that. I really can't wait until I hear a sound clip of Chris Pratt doing the Mario voice because I feel like it's just going to be fucking Chris Pratt's voice coming out of Mario.
I mean, has he done anything else but his voice?
He's getting Garfield too, by the way. So yay! I like Chris Pratt, but he doesn't need to be the voice of fucking everything.
No, he's.
I have to send Parker that TikTok.
Oh Christ!
So what are our final thoughts on this this beauty?
It was still a movie.
Dan, do you recommend this? Does this
I
have
don't
the
know.
DTF stamp of approval?
I lost mine. It's gone. The couch ate it. The cat ate it. Somebody ate it.
Watch it once.
If I could understand having nostalgia for this movie, like I get it. Like I watched this movie growing up. It's great. That's kind of how I am with Mortal Kombat. Like I love the Mortal Kombat movie. I don't by any means think it's a great film, but I like the movie. But no, if you have not seen this, unless you are just like you either really love any of the three main actors from this movie, or you're just into quirky films, I'd just say pass on. Even if you're like hard, like I'm the biggest Super Mario Brother fan ever. I named my child, blah blah blah, and
Peach.
Your child, yeah, well, that can work too. I was going to say Charles Martinet, but that's fine. But like, if you're a big Mario fan, you probably won't like this because you'll want it to be like Mario. Unless you just go in fully knowing like this is nothing. Like there's almost no connection outside of the characters' names and like some real small references in the movie. I don't know. I don't. I'm just beating around the bush. No, absolutely not.
You know me and my whole like, I've read the book, and the movie doesn't match the book. My whole yelling at the screen.
John Carpenter's Christine.
Shit.
Yes.
Don't bring that movie up every time.
Okay. That's the one I always think of because that was the one you got like super butthurt about.
It was bad.
No, it's not.
If I had watched the movie before I read the book, it would probably be different. But definitely go into this with a blank slate. Like, don't even think about games.
I'd love to do the quote from the movie, but I can't remember it line for line. And I don't want to butcher it. So,
which movie?
Trust the
Christine.
Oh.
No, not Trust the Fungus. Fuck. Jesus. That just looks like, dude, listen, this movie looks like the precursor to the fucking Last of Us, is what it looks like. It's like cordyceps for everybody. The king just controls everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, when I first saw his head come out of the...
Whose head?
What
are we talking about?
Fungus.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Happening? Holy shit. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just gotta be like, just ignore the fact that it says that it's called Super Mario Brothers. Just go into this. Just come up with your own fucking title and just enjoy this. Do not go into this going, man, I really hope this is like the games, because you're gonna be very disappointed. But it's still, to me, I still think it's a fun movie. It's not good. It's fun. I would never say to somebody, don't watch this movie. It's fucking trash. Watch it. Experience it. Even if you see it once, just do it. Just create your own opinion.
That's what I had to say about it, because it's one of those ones that sparks conversation.
Yeah.
It definitely is a movie you could sit here and like, you could get through, and it's not like there's bad movies out there, and then there's this. This is in its own category of you can converse about how bad it is and how it's not a Mario movie, and sit there and ponder, did these guys know what Mario was? I mean, it leads to unanswered questions.
And we've talked about it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked at the recording time. I was like, Jesus.
Isn't there some cheesy quote on the front of the DVD case, like the tagline of the movie?
So the Washington Post said it's a blast. The tagline is "This ain't no game. It's a live action thrill ride."
It's something.
On the back it says from 60-second preview, eye-popping special effects. So like I said, the special effects aren't that bad in this movie. But there we go. So, as I always do every week, I always go onto Twitter and I ask everyone. I said, "Hey, we're reviewing this movie. Tell us what your thoughts are on this movie." And boy, oh boy, we got a lot. The most I've ever gotten from after posting.
That. I was like
what? People came out in droves. I mean, I was like, I was not expecting this. I usually get maybe one response, or sometimes I don't get any. But the fact that I got as many as I did was insane. So we're going to start from the top and go down. So our first one is from our friends over at Epic Film Guys. Said saw it in theaters opening weekend and love it.
I'm glad to know somebody was in theaters to see this. Holy shit.
Our next one is from Shocking Things Podcast at Things Shocking. I can't believe they made action figures for this piece of shit.
Did they?
Yeah.
They did.
Oh,
you can
shit.
buy a Bob. I would 100% if I was at like a tag sale or if I was like somewhere and I saw a Bob Hoskins Mario action figure, I would fucking get it.
Tag sale.
You don't know what a tag
what
sale
the fuck's
is?
a tag sale?
Where people put their shit on their front yards and sell it for really cheap.
Garage sale.
A garage sale, a yard sale, tag sale.
Yeah, because you put tags on them with the prices, so they
but
can
you
be
could
called
just
tag sales.
You could just put them in a bucket and just say anything in this bucket's $1.
Dan, are you gonna fucking really? We're gonna do this?
Yes.
I live in a place where people call it a fucking tag sale, okay, or a yard sale. I mean, listen, they call it everything. All right.
I just from the South, remember?
We didn't even call it that back home.
You're from the Midwest. You're the South.
I'm a horrible individual, soulless individual from the Midwest. I don't know anything.
Oh,
I'm just fucking with you. I just had to ask. I didn't know. I've never heard that.
Our next one is from Brews with Games. Bro, no matter how much hate this movie got, it remains one of my favorite game to film adaptations. Did it have flaws? Absolutely. But it's still highly regarded, in my opinion. This one is from Podcast in the Woods at Woods Podcast 1. I still have so much fun with this one, and I will defend it to the death. It's campy, stupid, fun. No, it doesn't follow the game, but how could you?
That's
I agree.
True.
I like I like only hearing all these people that love it so much. So as much as I've shat on it, like I like to know that there's people that genuinely love this.
Well, and that's why part of the reason, like what that tweet said is like, how besides an animated movie, how do you make a live action Mario movie without having to do something like that, something weird?
Yeah. Our next one is from Sean O'Rourke from Movie Dumpster. He just says it's fucking awesome. I love it.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
Is they in the MDU?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I gotta see
Sean,
if they've done a review for this.
If you listen to ours, let us know where Bob Hoskins Mario factors into the MDU. I want to know.
Our next one is from Tim, our good buddy Tim.
Tim.
Tim's DC5. He just starts off with OGs and then goes, I remember being super hyped for this movie when it came out, and then I got really confused leaving the theater.
We're still confused 30 years later.
Yeah. We got one from Dan, our own Dan, which just what's that fucking character's name from SpongeBob?
Oh, it's Man Ray.
Man Ray just slapping, doing the face slap. We got one from Rapid Dave. Jesus, Rabid Dave. That's his alternate name.
He's a monster.
Yeah, this is a Rapid Dave. He just went, oh, buddy. I love some of these comments are great. This next one is that fucking guy. He said, if it had any other name, it would have been hailed as one of those bad movies wherever that would have only been made in the 80s, but unfortunately was made in the 90s and had a small but loyal cult following. Glad to see it's getting love in your replies. It's been trashed for far too long.
There you go.
Our next one's from Patrick Carico official page. He said, I saw it in theaters. I loved it then and I love it now. Despite the flaws it has in being a bad adaptation and not a good movie technically, I'm still entertained every time I watch it. Our next one is from John Big Booty.
Yeah, boy.
He said, I've always enjoyed the movie. I saw it in the theater back in 93. It has its share of fans and its non-fans. Count me as the former. It never bothered me that it was different from the games. I accept it for what it is, rather than for what it could have or should have been. Our next one is from Jason or Nerd Revert. It gets credit for trying to build its own world and stories within. I agree.
Yeah.
Can't cut down on being your own thing.
From Masked Piss.
That's a great name.
This is some great names. The only good video game movie to ever be made. I don't know if that's true, but I like it.
When we're done with these, I had a question for you guys. So, okay.
All right.
That's perfect.
The next one is from Artie Rollins. Incredibly entertaining, a product of its time, one of the very best bad movies. This one is a thread, and I got to read the whole thread to you. So this one is from Diabolical Pod. It came out in the same year as Jurassic Park, was obviously stomped all over it over the competition that year. I remember it being okay, perhaps a rewatch is due. And then some dude named Craig Morris. Yes, I'm calling everybody out who commented, so I'm sorry. You commented on this. Nah, it's shite. So it is, but then he goes on and says, it is fascinating, though. Obviously, a stark departure from the video games and chock full of cool ideas that unfortunately weren't executed particularly well, largely because of issues on set. It tried to do something, so I applaud it for that. And then he went on and said the directors were a husband and wife team, and they pissed off Hoskins a lot. And our last one is from Give Me Back My Action / horror movies. I enjoy the hell out of this movie. Fight me. And then my response was, I'm not going to fight you for having an opinion. And then his response was, disappointingly hanging sword back on wall.
What we should have done.
No, he needs to hang back his plunger.
Yes.
If anybody's going to get the reference, they should have just done Fight Me or I'll Destroy the Earth. If anyone remembers the Dexter's Laboratory miniseries thing, and Dial M for Monkey, where Randy Savage was the intergalactic wrestler. Fight Me or I'll Destroy the Earth. That's great.
What's up, everybody? Future me here to tell you, well, not really tell you, but I have more replies that came after we recorded, which is, I feel how it's going to be every week. So, but thank you to everyone who's replied to this. So we had a couple more comments. We had one from Sammy B, or Sammy Brooklyn over on Twitter. Closer to the source material than people give it credit for, and one of the greatest films ever. If people can separate it from the Mario video game storylines, I don't know why I sounded like that one toward the end, but there it is. We got Fire Dust at Super Mario 0521. Next year, the film turns 30, which is crazy, which is the same year that Super Chris Pratt Brothers comes out. You know what? I'm going to give it a chance. I feel like I had one more before this, but I think we have the last one is from Chris Carton, or at Chris Carton 89. He plugs his book, which I guess it's called A Guide to Video Game Movies. It said this masterpiece of a movie is the first entry in my book that came out in February. So if you want to snag that book, which I guess it's on Amazon and other places, just go to at Chris Carton 89 on Twitter. And you know what? I'm going to link that down in the description so we can, so, you know, if you're interested in that book, you can go snag it. All right. Let's get back to the video. Bye-bye.
We had a comment on one of ours from, I retweeted yours. It's from Zabanchi. He said, as bad as this movie is, I still like this movie.
So much positivity for this movie.
I love
something I was so surprised about when I got all these replies. Which, thank you so much to everyone who replied to the tweet. Please, we do this every week, so make sure if you have seen the movie we're going to review, I love hearing all of your opinions on the movie. We'll never judge you for liking a movie we don't like, because like right now, silently, 3 out of 4 of us like this movie, like at least enjoy this movie. And one person doesn't like this movie, and it's okay. That's just how this works. Mopey. Yeah, fuck you, Dad. No.
Yeah, it's fun to hear. It's great to hear both sides, like why you like it and why you don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even though I didn't, I still commended you guys and other people for why they would or wouldn't like it. So I don't shit on people for having a different opinion.
But the most common thing, though, is that nobody has ever once actually been, no, this movie is great. It's a great bad movie.
Exactly.
So
if I may, my question to you guys, because we are on the topic of this, what is your favorite video game adaptation movie?
I'm like blanking real hard. I'm trying to think, like, what?
I've got it if you need some time.
I think I know what yours is.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my favorite to watch is probably Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But I have a follow-up to that, which is, I think the best licensed video game movie, in my opinion, just sheer quality-wise, was the first Sonic movie. And the best unlicensed video game movie was Wreck-It Ralph, the first one.
Yes.
Because it wasn't based on an existing franchise.
Both those. So my answer is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
I love the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I think they are fucking well made. They
really are.
They mix well with the source material. It's not identical to the games, but it does its own thing. But it's still
in a great way. And like you feel like it's part of the Sonic lore. Like these movies tie into the Sonic universe. Yeah.
And the fact that they changed the design back to what he looked like in the game, and they didn't keep that fucking hideous creature that they ended up putting in the Chip and Dale movie. It's great. The Sonic movies are great. I mean, 1 is definitely better than 2, but they're still great movies to watch back to back. But yeah, also Wreck-It Ralph is probably one of my favorite animated movies of all time. It's so good and nostalgic. It's just great performances all around. So I agree wholeheartedly with everything Dan said. With those two
Rampage
movies.
is also a fun. I cheated. I'm sorry.
Cheated.
I didn't know that was your pick.
Well,
I just thought you were like, hey, look.
There it is. That's another entertaining movie.
I liked Rampage a lot, but I did also like Mortal Kombat. You two know I didn't get to watch a lot of different movies when I was a kid, so that was like one of the things that I remember watching at my aunt's house. I got to stay at her house for a good 2 hours by myself before anybody showed up. So I'd be like, I'm gonna watch this. I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna turn this on.
Angela puts in Porky's.
No, like she had access to cable and we didn't. So like I would turn like TNT on and I would be like, what is this? And I remember the first time I watched Mortal Kombat, it was great.
It's a good movie. It's fun.
Can I follow up that question then with one more really quick one?
Go for it.
What video game would you like to see get turned into a movie?
I like a quality. Go ahead. No,
I mean they're making The Last of Us into a show, and I think I'm nervous as fuck, but I'm also like, man, this I think will make a great show. I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell. Like BioShock. I think BioShock is going to be I mean, I know they've already talked about it being a movie or a show. I don't know what the hell they're doing with it, but I love the BioShock franchise, and I think it would be a fantastic movie series.
I could agree with that. Or Fallout.
Yeah, that would have to be a show, I feel. Like, just because of how big the universe is, I feel like you couldn't just do a single movie, or even if you did multiple movies, it'd just be just too much.
And I don't think I answered my own question to you guys, but for what it's worth, my favorite video game movie is GoldenEye by far.
There you go. That's fair. That's a fair point.
I thought that was a really good movie.
I guess we can count that.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I'm going last. You guys go ahead.
It's definitely the best video game.
I know video game based on the other way around, but yeah.
But we'll count it.
What about you, dear?
What I want to see, Stardew Valley.
That could be really cool.
Just because I love it so much.
One contingency.
What?
Are you talking? Would it be like a series? I'm assuming.
I feel like it'd have to be.
It would have to be because it's like it's Harvest Moon, but it never ends.
But just don't. As long as you don't let the CW touch it. Like... I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry. I was just poking at you. Okay.
I like my CW shows. I'm sorry.
I know you do. Like just poking at you. All right. So realistically, for me, the obvious choice would be either Metroid or Mega Man. But I think they would just fuck all those. I think they would fuck those up. I think Metroid you could do good if you did as a proper horror, because since it was based on the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
But no, my choice is going to be. I would love to see him just go in ridiculous 80s style. Action adventure movie of fucking Altered Beast with Sega. They like lean into the blatant like homoeroticy of it, and just like it'd be fucking hilarious, dude.
That could be pretty good. I would
love to see like people like turn into man beasts and just punch holes through people and shit. It'd be awesome.
It would be pretty badass. All right, Dark, what's your answer?
What game would I like to see turned into a movie?
Yeah.
Oh man. I was just I had some notes. Let me pull that back up really quick. I think I was gonna say, because it would have been Uncharted until they made it.
Yeah,
but I think like a film adaptation of the Red Dead series would be really
cool.
You're getting the best video games, and you're getting like Western movie. I love Western movies.
The horse glitches, though, they have to put those in there.
And dude, like you just need Arthur. It needs to have Arthur in it, because I'd be upset if it didn't have Arthur. And like he just needs to go around and be like, Morning, partner. Ma'am. Now,
Hey there,
hold
mister.
on now.
But yeah, I would love to see some kind of some kind of film adaptation of the Red Dead series, because those games are really good.
Another one that would be good, I think, would be Prey. I like what I've never played the game, but I've watched people play. And I'm like,
That would make a good horror movie.
I would definitely.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who left your comments on the tweet. I'm going to be sending out, doing this every week. So, if you've seen the movie that we're going to be reviewing, please give us your thoughts in the comments. You can email us at dissectthatfilm@gmail.com. You can personally DM DissectThatFilm instead of, commenting on the tweet. I knew that pop-up was going to pop up. Fucker. Right at the end, you son of a bitch.
I was like, whoa, bright.
Yeah. But next week we're back diving into the final two films of the Terminator franchise, starting off with a movie I fucking forgot I even own this piece of shit. Terminator Genisys. With the tagline, listen to this, everybody. The best Terminator since T2 Judgment Day.
Holy shit.
Is it? Spoiler alert. No. But that's the movie.
I'm gonna watch the video now.
But that's the movie we're going to be talking about next week. Terminator
there.
Genisys. And yes, I'm going to say it wrong every fucking time because it's spelled.
It doesn't deserve it.
It's got a fucking Y at the end. Stupid.
Genisys.
The only thing that's good about this movie is it's got Emilia Clarke in it, and I love Emilia Clarke.
She's adorable.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be doing Terminator Genisys next week, and then we're doing Terminator Dark Fate the week after, and then we haven't determined what we're gonna be doing after that because we're gonna be doing a solo movie, and then we're gonna jump into another franchise.
I know what it is. A movie.
You are right as rain.
Your deductive skills are admirable, dude.
Before you cut your clip, I have an honest question for you guys about the Super Mario Brother movie. Maybe you could use it for TikTok or something.
Okay.
Because there was a couple other people reached out to be cast for the movie. They originally reached out to Danny DeVito for Mario.
Yes.
Does it make the movie better or worse?
Oh, makes it so much better. I love Bob Hoskins, but it makes Danny DeVito. Oh my god,
it would have been so good.
So great.
I can only see him as.
And they also reached out to Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Koopa. Better or worse.
No.
Dude,
we can do the jokes. You got to get to the stompers.
I've been sitting on this since you said that earlier. And if you would have had Danny DeVito as Mario and Schwarzenegger as Koopa, it's been the greatest movie of all time.
Isn't it just twins?
It's twins, but in some kind of weird created Mario universe.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I would love to see it.
I would pay to see that movie. I pay a lot of money.
Just want to say I cannot believe that we went almost 2.5 hours talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. So yay.
Have fun editing this one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's gonna be a great time, guys. Dark, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys
always
for having me.
Yes, thank you, Dark.
Pleasure having you on. We're definitely gonna have you back on again
I would love
times.
to. If I could take a moment here to congratulate the three of you on the continued growth and success of Dissect That Film. I'm very proud to say you guys you're killing it, and I love it.
Hey, thanks,
man.
It's all, not this guy, but it's that guy.
Well, but you're a crew, though. You're a crew.
No, they carry the show. I just do the technical shit, and I'm bad at it. So
if things hadn't happened the way they had happened, we wouldn't be here. So
I feel like a sandbag.
And you bring all the comedy, okay?
I
try
something.
Every time I edit this fucking show, it's always a clip of you talking about genitalia. And I'm like,
always is. I'm
why
sorry.
don't we just make this the TikTok? And people will be like, dude, is all the TikToks just going to be them talking about the genitalia of somebody in the movie they're talking about?
I'm gonna give you something to think about. Like you people are like, oh, why does he talk about dicks all the time? Is that all he thinks about? Like, let me tell you something. You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for a dick. So there you go.
You're right.
But yeah, no, I saw your guys' Anaconda video. Like the views were, so I was like, good for them. And you're killing it on the podcast services all the time. So congratulations.
Thank you. And congratulations to you and all your successes. Of course, I'm I get to witness it every day of all the things that you're doing over there between streaming full time, making your own music,
Yay.
just being fucking the most genuine person, one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life, and just being an all around just great fucking guy. And
one day I'll get to catch your streams, but
yeah,
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 o'clock.
I know I'm usually working.
It won't be tomorrow.
I won't be tomorrow.
There you go.
I'll be there
That's
tomorrow.
But I'm usually working.
Catch him like a fucking Pokemon.
I catch your TikToks, and I've been seeing all these comments on there, and I'm like,
The
I know that
ones seem to be
person.
doing very well. Yeah.
So, Dark, where
Yeah.
can everybody find you? What are all your links and all that fun stuff?
It's Darkraizard on every platform you could think of. It's all the same.
He's smart.
Yeah, whether that you can actually just go right into Google, type in Darkraizard, and it will tell you I'm a musical artist, and here's all of my links. Here's everywhere you can find me.
A very talented
Beautiful thing.
musical artist.
And all the links will be down in the description. So it's more convenient. You go down there, you click on a link, it brings you to wherever you want to go. And the amazing song that you hear at the beginning and the end of this podcast is created by this man himself. And it's called Dissection because of this show.
That's true.
So it just fits perfectly. It's fucking chef's kiss. Thank you again, Dark, for being here. I'm already looking forward to the next time we have you on the show, and probably going to be for your favorite movie of all time, but we won't say what it is.
Okay, I know. Well, I know.
What you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hope
they
you
don't
know.
know.
What
I know.
About
yeah.
We don't know.
We'll talk about
but
that
you do.
after. Okay. But until next time, everybody, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan Angel of DNA Gaming, and that is my boy Darkraizard. We are Dissect That Film. This has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 64. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Deuces.